Last night, good pitching and great defense led the Astros to victory. Tonight, Jay Happ tries to get back on track while trying to silence the bats of Lance Berkman and the St. Louis Cardinals. So grab your cotton candy. Astros baseball is next on Fox Sports Houston. In Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight is the rubber game of this three-game series. The Astros meeting the St. Louis Cardinals. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Astros have won 2 series against National League Central Division teams. They can knock off the top dog in a series if they win this one tonight, JD.
And last night, Bud Norris flirted with a no-hitter, ultimately broken up by Lance Berkman. Home run, nothing new there. Lance Berkman, since putting on the Cardinal uniform, has really done well against the Astros. 476 this year, 4 bombs, 10 driven in. Turned them around to the right side, and over the years, Lance has not been as productive. But this year, swinging it pretty well right-handed, hitting 275, 3 home runs. Only 1 home run all last year for Lance from the right side. Jay Happ goes for the Astros tonight. He's 3-7 with a 465. He's really been throwing the ball pretty well in his last 3 or 4 starts, but has not been able to pick up any W's through that stretch.
Coming up from Minute Maid Park, where the Cardinals play well this year. And Berkman hit a homer last night to break up Bud Norris's no-hit bid. Albert Pujols continues to swing a hot bat, but Hunter Pence was at the forefront last night with his triple for the Astros. Lance Lynn goes for the Redbirds next.
Brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates. Greg Lucas here. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies up in the booth. We're set for baseball. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Greg. And the game is starting here with Ryan Theriot leading it off against Jay Happ. Jay's first pitch is ball 1 to the shortstop, hitting .295 with no homers. 22 runs batted in for the LSU man, Theriot. Theriot had a hit and an RBI in the opener of this series. Takes a strike there, and the count is even for Jay at 1 ball, 1 strike. As JD mentioned, Jay Happ has been putting together good starts recently, but it's been tough for him to reach the win column. Missing with that one. He falls behind. 2 balls and a strike. He started twice against the Redbirds this year, has lost both of those. But he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings in one and 3 runs in 6 innings in the other loss. Line, and it goes foul. 2-2 to Theriot.
Last time out, he got beat by the Padres 3-1. Worked 6 innings of 3-run baseball. Hanging in there. You know, he hasn't had many dominant starts, but certainly solid starts, and with a little luck could be a winning pitcher, but instead he has a 3-7 record.
Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak tonight, and he goes to 3-2 on Theriot. Last time out in that 3-1 loss at San Diego on Thursday, he walked 2 in 6 innings. Past a diving Chris Johnson for a leadoff hit for Theriot. He takes the big turn, heads for second base. Relay from Barmas. Not in time. It's a double. The 12th of the year for Theriot. Theriot lost his hitting streak. It was at 20 games by going 0 for 2 last night. Now he starts another.
Now, rarely do you get a double to left field when you hit it on that side of the third baseman, but Carlos was playing way over the other way, and so that ball was able to go all the way to the wall. Theriot hits the ball the other way a high percentage of the time.
John Jay comes up now. He is 0 for 7 in this series. .314 for the season with 4 homers. He's driven in 14. Showing bunt.
I'll tell you how rare it is to get a double on a ball like that.
Okay.
I was marking my scorebook single to left field.
Yeah.
And then I looked up, and lo and behold, there he was.
True. Looked like a single off the bat. Jay is reading the signs of Jose Oquendo, the third base coach. Lefty on lefty, so it wouldn't be surprising to see a bunt here. And the Astros are
a good hitter, though.
Yeah, he is. He's around and he fouls it back.
I think that's a dumb play. I think it's only justifiable in that they've got a young pitcher making his second major league start tonight, and maybe the thinking is let's just try to get a run on the board early and make him feel a little better about things when he goes out there for the bottom of the first. But generally, giving yourself a good hitter like Jay, giving himself up this early in the game is a little peculiar. Lefties are hitting .342 against Jay Happ.
The bunt is a good one. Happ comes over, spins and throws, gets him at first. Sacrifice for Jay. Theriot to third, 1 out. The starting lineup is brought to you by Xfinity. It's Ryan Theriot, John Jay, Albert Pujols, Lance Berkman, Mark Hamilton at first, Tony Cruz the catcher, Colby Rasmussen center, Tyler Green at second, Lance Lynn the pitcher. Now Albert Pujols playing third base tonight for the 3rd time this year. He's starting at that position. .278, 14 homers, 39 runs batted in. That's because the Cardinals are facing a lefty, and Daniel Descalzo bats left, so he's on the bench tonight. He's been playing a lot of third. Foul away, strike 1, and a couple of the right-handed bats on the bench would be helpful in normal scenarios against the lefty for Tony La Russa. Alan Craig, though, had an injury running into that fence outside the right field line Tuesday night. He had 3 stitches in his right knee. And Yadier Molina, the catcher hitting more than 300, is on the bench getting a rest tonight. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. So that means lefty hitting Mark Hamilton is playing first base. Obviously, being a left-handed thrower and batter, he wouldn't be an option at third, and Pujols moves over. He has tied Lou Brock on the all-time doubles list, 434. Long way to go to Stan Musial.
High slider there, gets a swing and a miss. I think if Alan Craig were 100%, he'd be in the outfield, and Lance Berkman would be at first base with the lefty on the hill. Kind of an awkward swing from Albert, who has really turned it on in the last couple of weeks. J-Hap going with the rally beard, the hockey playoff beard, looking to break this losing streak.
Well, if it works for him the way it did for the Bruins last night, it's worth it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pujols homered in the opener of this series Tuesday night. That gave him home runs in 4 consecutive games, a total of 5 homers in those 4 games for Albert. Fouls it back.
Albert, like any other player who's paid to drive in runs, getting a little anxious with that man on third base. Expanded his strike zone a couple of times in this at bat.
He reaches for that one, taps it with the runner coming home, and the shortstop Clint Barmas throws. Nice scoop on the backhand side. Brett Wallace saving Barmas. And Pujols gets RBI number 40 with Terrio scoring to make it 1-0.
Well, let's look at the Astros defensively tonight. Back to the status quo in the outfield. Talked about Barmas in the pregame show. He's played great shortstop, made a couple of dandy plays last night. Jeff Keppinger was very good last night as well. Wallace and Johnson have the corners. JR back in there behind the dish.
Mixture. There are some boos and some cheers for Lance Berkman. He broke up the no-hitter by Bud Norris last night with a home run. 329, 14 bombs. And there is strike 1. Berkman going deep last night with 2 outs in the 7th inning on a 3-1 fastball, batting left-handed. Earlier, JD capsulized his season as a right-handed batter. Much better this year.
Good swing.
0-2.
Last year he hit 1 home run. Hit a .171 between his time here and in New York, and this year pretty solid numbers. Somewhat just 40 at bats as a right-handed hitter. He's gone deep 3 times already.
Just off the plate, it's 1-2. Tom Halley, and the crew chief of this umpiring crew, is the home plate umpire tonight. It's 2-2. The Cardinals are second in the league in runs scored. They have 310. They lead the league in on-base average and in slugging percentage. And Berkman is the slugging percentage individual leader at .624. Fouling it back, he stays at 2-2 in the count.
Just those swings from the right side look a lot better than what we had seen in the last couple of seasons from Lance.
Bud Norris pitched a beauty last night. Happ is 3-7 with a 4.65 ERA, coming down, and he gets a strikeout on Berkman. 1 run, 1 hit for the Redbirds, and now the Astros come up against Lynn in just a moment. Now the Astros starting lineup for Brad Mills is brought to you by Xfinity. It's Michael Bourne in center field, Jeff Keppinger at second base, Hunter Pence in right field on a 19-game hitting streak. Carlos leads in left field with Brett Wallace returning to the lineup at first base. It's Chris Johnson at third, Clint Varmus at short. J.R. Tolles the catcher for Jay Happ.
Right-hander Lance Lynn making his second major league start. You see the numbers from his first one: 5 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 5. He retired the first 10 men he faced in that ball game. And he hit Miguel Tejada, gave up a home run to Aubrey Huff, and kind of went downhill from there. Defensively, Berkman, Rasmus, and Jay in the outfield. Albert over there at third base. Third time he's done that this year. Terrio Green, Hamilton, and Tony Cruz, the rookie behind the plate, who caught Lynn in AAA, gets the honors here tonight. I imagine Albert will be very tight with Michael Bourne up there.
Bet. Michael might want to test him anyway, no matter where he's positioned. Michael's on a 9-game hitting streak. He got hit number 9 in that streak in a tough way as a pinch hitter last night. There's strike 1 to him. 276, 1 homer, 21 runs batted in. He got a pinch RBI single in the 8th inning last night in the Astros 4-1 win. 1-1. Albert volunteered to go to third base when the Cardinals had injuries. David Freese was productive in that position earlier this year. He's been out with a broken hand. Pujols filling in again at third tonight. Lance Lynn pitched a game this spring against the Astros. It's 2 balls and a strike for the 25-year-old right-hander from Marion County, Indiana, who went to the University of Mississippi. Fastball fouled away. Fastball at 90 miles per hour that time from Lance Lynn.
Yeah, big guy, but not a real hard thrower. 89-92. Curveball and a straight changeup. He was 3-0 against the Round Rock Club last year with a 0 ERA in 19 innings.
Impressive. Bourne fouls it. Still 2-2 for Michael with Keppinger on deck. There's the scouting report on Lance Lynn.
He was drafted by the Mariners, didn't sign. Cardinals, a sandwich pick after the first round in 08. Baseball America ranks him as the 6th best prospect. And very nice career for Ole Miss.
Upstairs, and it's 3-2. Tony Cruz catching. Backup catchers on the disabled list right now. Gerald Laird for the Cardinals. Lynn at AAA Memphis this year, 5-3 with a 4.06 ERA in 10 starts. He walked 21 in 62 innings there. And he strikes out Michael Bourne.
Pretty good heater here. A little runner off the outside corner. Michael a little late getting started.
Jeff Keppinger bats next. On a 3-game hitting streak, a .295 hitter with 1 homer. He's driven in 5. Hunter Pence is on deck. Keppinger has hit safely in 9 of his 11 games. Takes the fastball for ball 1.
You know, the other day I was talking about this Fangraphs website. I was checking it out today. Jeff Keppinger has not swung and missed at a fastball in the strike zone yet this year.
That is impressive. He's had 44 at bats. He struck out only once in 46 plate appearances. Now he has a 2-0 count. 2-1. It's a pretty good website, huh?
Right, they got all kinds of stuff in there. Some good, you know, some of it applicable that you can use, and other of it is just mind-boggling.
Okay. Keppinger fouls it away on the fastball. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I was worried he was going to swing and miss. At least he got a piece of it.
He got it in early. That's the main thing. Cardinals have won 4 of their last 5. They have a 1.5 lead over Milwaukee, and they'll be playing at Milwaukee this weekend. That should be a well-attended series at Miller Park. Out to second base, and it's Green over to first. 2 outs.
Yeah, Brewers won in dramatic fashion last night, giving up the lead late and then coming back to beat the Mets. Prince Fielder hit a couple more home runs.
Nigel Morgan had the game-winning hit. Hunter Pence, during his 19-game hitting streak, has lifted his average to .313. He has 8 homers. His 45 runs batted in are tied for 5th best in the National League. During his 19-game streak, he's hit .383 with 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He's second in the league in hits with 80. Last night he had an RBI triple in 4 at-bats.
It was a good hook.
Yes, it is.
Willie Taveras, right, has the club record.
That's right.
30? Is it 30?
30 is. The Tony Eusebio hitting streak was the unlikely one. That he would have a 25-game streak. Being a slow-footed catcher who I think he batted 7th most of the time, but anyway, bottom of the order type guy. And he would have days off, and the number 2 catcher. So
sprinkled in some pinch hits in there, I'm sure.
That was a tough streak to keep going, but he did it. 2 balls and a strike. It lasted something like 52 days, a 25-game streak. But for Hunter in this number 3 spot, a chance to get up more often than Eusebio did. That helps when a hitting streak is in progress. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros were just 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position last night, but they won 4-1. They had 11 hits. The Cardinals had 2. For the season, St. Louis has won 5, and Houston has 2 wins in the 7 games between the 2 clubs. Little tap past the pitcher. Terrio comes in and won't get him. 20-game streak for Hunter Pence, the longest active streak in the majors.
It's like Willie Taveras, and Pence doesn't have Willie speed, but he has very good speed, so the ability to beat out a ground ball like that. He's had a couple infield hits in recent games. Just a little chopper over the mound. Terrio comes hard, but not hard enough.
Andre Ethier's 30-game streak for the Dodgers, the longest in the majors this year. The 20-game streak is tied for second with Terrio. Taveras had his 30-game stretch in 06. Carlos Lee has a 4-game hitting streak. This one kicks away from Cruz, and Pence takes off and reaches second base on a wild pitch. Lance Lynn retired the first 10 batters as Tony La Russa watched him make his debut last time.
Nice break by Hunter on that breaking ball in the dirt. Now a little scratch single could tie this ball game.
.264 for Carlos with 5 homers. He looks at that one for ball 2. Carlos, the last 3 weeks, has turned it up a few notches. He's been on base in 16 of his last 17 games. He's hit .328 in those games with a .411 on base average. Fred Wallace on deck. It's 3-0, and Lynn, we mentioned that, retired the first 10 batters against the Giants in his first major league start, June 2nd. Then he hit Miguel Tejada with a pitch. Gave up a homer to Aubrey Huff. Wound up taking the loss, giving up 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings, but was off to a terrific start. Hmm. 3-1.
Pretty good 3-0 pitch right there with the base open. Didn't want to give in. And just kind of floated one to the outside corner. Could have gone either way.
Kyle McClellan's on the disabled list. That's why Lynn is in the rotation now. That's another strike.
Ooh, he's painting with that tiny brush right now.
Yes, he is.
He's just going to put a little edge right there on the corner. Perhaps a cloud over here. Carlos Lee has had more at-bats with runners in scoring position than anybody in the National League this year. Well, except for Hunter Pence. They both had 76 ABs with runners in scoring position.
What's he hitting?
250.
Okay. Breaking ball, ball 4. 2 men on for Greg Wallace.
that's the 11th time he's walked in these situations. I imagine there's some other hitters that have had more plate appearances than Hunter and Carlos. Neither of those guys walk a whole lot, but they've had a lot of opportunities. Of course, Penn's on there a bunch for Carlos. Michael Bourne doing a real nice job at the top of the batting order.
Yes, he is. Brett Wallace, who was drafted in the first round by the Cardinals in 08, carries a 3-game hitting streak into this game. And an overall average of .318 for Brett. 4 homers, 18 runs batted in, 23 pitches for Lance Lynn. And Brett Wallace has not hit nearly as well as that .318 with men in scoring position this year. 196. That's strike one to him, and scoring position runners and 2 outs, 136. Brett's average to this point of the season. Chris Johnson's on deck.
And even though he's been mostly a middle of the order hitter, he only has 46 at bats with runners in scoring position.
1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinal starters in this series: Jake Westbrook Tuesday night went 5 1/3. Jaime Garcia last night went 5. Wallace bounces one through the left side. Hunter Pence is turning third, coming to the plate. Here's a throw from Berkman. It's cut off. Throw back to second. A run down on Lee. And the run did score before that third out on the tag play on Lee. So it's an RBI single for Wallace. That ties the game 1-1 after 1.
All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the All-Star game. Compliments of Scott's. Phoenix, Arizona, the site for this year's All-Star game. Stars shining bright in the desert. Sun shining bright in parts of the ballpark tonight.
Yes, it is. Another sizzling day outside. Mark Hamilton leads it off in a 1-1 game. He's the first baseman. He's had 17 at-bats for the Redbirds. Lefty on lefty. There's strike one for Jay Happ. Hamilton, a 176 hitter for those 17 at-bats. Getting his first start of the season at first base for the Redbirds. Went to high school here at Episcopal High School in Bel Air. And then on to Tulane. 2-0 to Hamilton.
Carpenter's from here, the young third baseman who played last night. Nick Stavinoa, who's been up with the Cardinals in the past. He's down with their AAA club. He's a Jersey Village guy, right?
Yep, sure is. And of course, going way back to the Houston Buff days, a lot of Cardinal big leaguers came from their AAA farm club when it was at Houston. That's a good pitch, and it's strike 3. Tom Hallion.
Yeah, get him, Tom.
He got after it. Strikeout number 2.
Watch Tom Hallion. This is an emphatic strike 3 call. Hurts my back just to watch it.
It's almost like Frank Pulla used to do it.
That is beautiful.
Yes, it is. Umpire is into the game.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, you know, in the upper deck, they got to be able to see.
He sold that call. Now here's Tony Cruz, the catcher. Fly ball. Michael Bourne churning out toward right center and calling. Center fence peels off. They work together very well. They can hold a hand up. The guy who wants it will motion to the other guy while he's on the run, and then you saw Hunter just peel off and let Michael take it for out number 2.
Throwing up that stop sign. I got it, partner.
Colby Rasmus, his brother, a catcher at Liberty University, who was drafted by the Redbirds yesterday. Well, could be a family situation soon for Colby. There is ball 1. 265, 5 homers, 26 runs batted in for the center fielder.
His brother may be battling Brad Arnsberg's son for playing time in the minor leagues.
Could be. 1 ball and 1 strike to Colby.
See that conversation now, right? Hey, ask your dad how they're going to pitch to my brother.
Little tap goes foul, and it's a 1 ball 2 strike count on Rasmus. Rasmus batting 7th against the lefty Happ. But Colby can be a top of the order type hitter too. He was hitting 5th last night. Cardinals move him all around. He was batting 2nd Tuesday night. It's a shot, perfectly played. No, it's dropped now by Barmas. It looked like it was going to be perfectly played. He was in the right position, but then he dropped it. And it's an error on Barmas' 3rd.
I think this is the 2nd time in the last few weeks that we've talked a lot about Clint defensively in the pregame show, and he's come out and made an error. He's only made 3 errors so far this year. We were talking in the pregame about what a solid shortstop he has played. That was a tricky hop, a ball we're used to seeing him get, and a play that should have been made. Almost recovered and was able to get him. But Rasmus beat it by just that much.
Yeah, Foxmo showed you. Now it's Tyler Green. Fouling it back. There's strike 1 to Green. A 212 hitter with 1 homer. He's driven in 8. J.R. Tolles doing the receiving again tonight. Green is 1 for 5. That hit a homer off J. Happ. Tyler can play several positions. It's 0-2 to Green. Skip Schumacher normally plays 2nd. He bats left, so Tony La Russa is using more of a right-handed hitting lineup against the lefty Happ tonight. Cardinals are 9-8 against left-handed starters. Tomorrow night's game will be number 5,000 managed in the big leagues by Tony La Russa. It's 1-2 on appeal to Phil Cuzzi. 5,000 games.
Off. Yeah, I wonder how many that equates to, you know, plus his minor league days and his playing days and just years of wearing a baseball uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there's a great story when he was a little kid and he was asked to, you know, for picture day, he was supposed to wear his best clothes, and he came down in his baseball uniform. He was like 7 years old. He said to put on my best suit.
That's good. Connie Mack managed 7,755. He and La Russa, as of tomorrow night, will be the only 2 managers or coaches in American professional sports history to have reached the 5,000 milestone. So Connie Mack owned the team, and that gave him
tough to get fired if you own the team.
Pretty good security.
Maybe Tony should dress up like Connie, put a suit and a fedora on to manage tomorrow to honor that. In Jay's last start in San Diego, he got called for a balk on a pickoff move to first base. The plate umpire judged that he stepped more towards home than towards first. I was talking to him the next day, and he said, "That's the same move I use all the time, and I never get called." Can't say that anymore because now he's been called for it.
Strike 3 call. Tom Hallion's looking good to Jay Happ right now. He's got 2 of those in this inning, 3 for the game. No runs, no hits, 1 error. And Happ gets the strikeout to keep it at 1-1.
And this weekend is going to be a fun one. Not only will Jordan Lyles make his first start here at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, but the Astros will also honor our very own JD and Brownie. The Astros host the Braves at 6:05, and the first 10,000 fans will receive the JD and Brownie bobblehead courtesy of Coca-Cola. Just visit Astros.com for tickets. And guys, you're not going to let this go to your heads, are you?
No chance. No chance, Petty. No.
I got a little smudge on my head. Do I really have that in real life?
No.
Those might be a couple of the best bobbleheads I've ever seen, honestly.
They did a good job, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Nobody looks like Steve Garvey.
Chris Johnson leads it off in a 1-1 game. And hits one in the hole and by a diving Ryan Terrio. Sharp single into left field by CJ. Hit number 3 for the Astros. Amazing if they can be accurate. That manufacturing process, JD.
Yeah, it's probably easy to make me. You know, you get a bald guy with a goatee and glasses. And
they did a great job.
Got it covered.
Ball hit well by CJ. He's hit .308 against the Redbirds this season. He's aboard for Clint Barmas.
After the first 2 quick outs, it's been single walk, single, single. The Cardinals finished off the Astros in the bottom of the first when Carlos took that wide turn at second.
219 for Clint. Ground ball into left field. He found a slot as well. And Barmas, who was 0 for 9 in this series, gets Johnson to second on back-to-back hits.
Tony Gwynn would be thrilled. Astros banging away at that hole between third and short. Morris, Johnson, and Barmas all shoot the ball between third and short for singletons. Opportunity for Astros to put something together. Remember, they got the best hitter in the club on deck, Jay Happ.
He's hitting .350. J.R. Tolles, 206, 3 homers, 9 driven in. Getting the regular playing time now. He's hit .364 against the Cardinals this year, only 3 games. It's a curve and it's good for strike 1. Dave Clark had signs for him.
Albert Pujols down there at third base. He came up as a third baseman. Played a lot of third base in the minor leagues. Actually played some shortstop too. think the biggest challenge for him, other than the angles being a little bit different, is the ball, the slow roller, the ball you have to charge, play, and then make the throw across the diamond. As a first baseman, you don't really ever have to make that play. He's got good enough hands for sure. He's got very good hands.
And unlike many superstar players, he volunteered to move to that position because the Cardinals had a vacancy there with injuries. Down slowly, Theriot to his right, gets it to second, and then the relay by Green is a strong one for the double play. Johnson to third, but the Cardinals turn 2 for their 53rd double play.
Yeah, last night it was the Astros turning double plays, 3 of them after leadoff walks. And now this 6-4-3, fairly convenient hop there to Ryan Theriot, up chest high, and that gets things started. This turn by Green. And an unfortunate turn of events for J.R. Tolles and the Astros. Promising inning has fizzled here unless J. Happ can do something.
Well, he has done something 7 times, 7 hits and 20 at bats. Lead all pitchers in batting average, and he also has a homer and a double, and he's driven in 4 runs.
Went deep in his last home start after just missing a home run in his previous at bat.
Takes that one, and it's 2 balls, no strikes to Jay. Well, that was a picture book swing he hit with a home run.
You see, I would say about 90% of the pitchers in the league are taking all the way here, but the way he's been swinging it, be tempted to turn him loose.
It's 3-0, Jay.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn him loose here. Isn't that good?
No. He has a .409 on base percentage.
Maybe the best hitter out of Northwestern since Mark Loretta.
Oh, yeah. 3 balls and a strike to Jay Happ. Jay's 28 years old, from Spring Valley, Illinois. 3-time All Big Ten. How's that one? And it's a full count now. Wandy Rodriguez continues to report that he's feeling good and ready to rejoin the Astros rotation. That apparently will be on Monday against the Braves here. Who's leaving the rotation? Brad Mills is not telling anybody right now. Foul back.
Yeah, be careful. Lance Lynn was very cautious early in this at bat with Happ. Of course, you don't want to walk the pitcher and let that lineup turn over.
He did not walk anybody in his major league debut in 5 1/3 innings. Did hit a batter. He's thrown 37 pitches so far. Jay up the middle, Lynn is right there. And in the second, no runs, 2 hits, 1 left for the Astros. It's 1-1 after 2.
Making cancer history. Joe Niekro becomes the winningest pitcher in club history on this date in 1985 with a 2-hit shutout of the Giants 5-0. Mark Bailey helps his battery mate with a 3-run blast. Quite a job, and he is still the winningest pitcher in Astros history. There was one other thing that happened today involving the Astros. It was weird. 1973, Rusty Staub became the pivot man in a double play. He was in the outfield, and the double play went pitcher to first base to shortstop to first base to second base to first base to second base to right field to the catcher. It ended in a rundown, but he took a throw near second base, running in from the outfield. You don't see those very often.
Yeah, not very often. So the Astros have a long history of botched rundown plays.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, the Mets did win that game. He was with the Mets, I should say. I said Rusty with the Astros. At that time, he was with the Mets.
It's ball 1 to Lynn. Second career at bat. Looking for his first major league hit. In 1-1 game. It's 1-1.
This is also the anniversary of the very first Sunday night game in Major League Baseball. Took place here in 1963. The game was moved to nighttime because it was so flippin' hot.
Yes, it was awful. There was one game at Colt Stadium, and about 57 people were taken away with heat exhaustion, and that led to the move for Sunday night baseball. 39 pitches for Jay Happ. It's 2-2. If you can imagine playing baseball outside tonight, that's probably about what it was like back in those days. It's pretty nice to be here in an air-conditioned ballpark. Lynn is down on strikes, and the strikeout is number 4 for Jay Happ.
Jay's had some first inning problems this year. He was able to get out of the first, allowing just that 1 run. We'll see how this game develops, and wonder if John Jay ultimately will regret giving himself up back there in the first inning of that sacrifice bunt to push Terry out, because a lot of times the starting pitcher, that's when they're on the ropes in the first inning before they settle in.
Terrio out to left center field. Michael Bourne has a long run but gets there. Ball was in the air a fair amount of time, and Michael had plenty of time to get there for the second out.
Now, Terrio had to reach for it, and the ball had a lot of backspin. Michael able to track it down easily. 2 quick outs here for Happ.
It's a good point you're making about John Jay, though. The Chief Justice should not have to give himself up, should he?
He recused himself from that at bat.
Okay. It's strike 1 to John Jay. He's been a very good player for the Cardinals this year. Can play all 3 outfield positions.
Order came from the bench. And, when you see a player do that, you assume that somebody's put a sacrifice on, but a lot of times the player will just take it upon himself to do that.
Grounder to the left side. Tough play here. Barmas will give it his best shot. Oh, safe, but he made it close, and it didn't look like there was any way. No chance, but he did make it close.
Boy, he sure did. Jay jammed a little bit by that pitch, and that'll cause him to get a little bit of a late break out of the box, but the rest is all Barmas, a skidding ground ball. He unloaded in a hurry and made it closer than you would have anticipated. Good call, though.
Joe Cuzzy with a safe call. Yeah, that throwing position for Barmas was very difficult. Now it's Albert Pujols. Got the RBI on the bouncer to shortstop in the first inning.
Fox Tracks is brought to you by Steel. We'll show this fastball on the outside corner at the bottom of the knees.
It's strike 1.
What are we going to do now?
All right, you're on a roll.
Now we're ahead of him 0-1.
Keep it going.
He chased that high slider a couple times last at bat. Right back out there.
Pujols had walk-off homers both Saturday and Sunday in extra innings against the Cubs. That is a rarity. And led to all kinds of questioning of Cubs skipper Mike Quade about why he would pitch to him. Ripped on a line right at CJ. No a hit, a runner stranded. It's 1-1 in the third inning.
Houston is brought to you by Sonic. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Steel. For dependable trimmers and lightweight blowers, visit SteelDealers.com. I wonder who Dollar is.
Not sure who Dollar is.
It could be almost any player.
We put him on our all-money team. With Kurt Schilling. Hunter Pence. Ernie Banks.
Don Money.
Dave Cash.
Bottom of the third, it's Michael Bourne in a 1-1 game. 4 hits for the Astros, 2 for the Cardinals. Michael opened the Astros first by working the count full and then striking out. Tried to bunt his way on, and he fouled at strike one. It would be sound thinking, one would probably assume, to test Albert Pujols on a bunt or two during the game.
He's well in and off the line. So if he can push it down the line, he's going to have to come hard on a little bit of an awkward angle.
Liner knocked down by Terrio. He can't hang on to it, and Bourne is on. It's a line drive single for Michael Bourne and a 10-game hitting streak now.
The king of the line drive delivers another one. A good off-speed pitch down, but he stays back. Nice effort by Terrio. Got leather on it, just couldn't corral it. And Tony Cruz, the catcher for the Cardinals, does not have a lot of big league experience. His minor league throwing numbers were quite good. That doesn't always translate at the big league level.
Michael stole last night, his 26th of the year for the major league leader. Jeff Keppinger is the batter. He grounded out earlier. Time call. Well, this could be a very good situation for Michael to test Cruz. The Astros have stolen 3 bases in 5 tries against the Redbirds this season. Yadier Molina, when he's the catcher, is a major deterrent. Keppinger takes a pitch. It's ball 1. Bourne not going. The Astros as a team have the best percentage in stealing bases in the majors. They have stolen 52 in 60 tries.
Ooh, didn't have to be.
1-1. Dave Clark relays signs to the hitter and the base runner from the bench.
What's on Brownie? What did he put on there?
Not sure.
He's got the green light pretty much all the time.
Clock going, and it's a foul ball. 1-2. Rick Stockstill mans that camera. He's all right. He'll be fine for that trip home on 290 later tonight.
He's tougher than a $2 steak, that guy.
Hunter Pence is on deck. And the throw goes over on Bourne. Cardinals signal those in from the bench.
Yeah, most clubs do.
Like a flea bite for him. Fouled away.
Yeah, I mean, I think if the pitcher decides he wants to throw over on his own, most clubs will give you the freedom to do that. But I think controlling the running game for most major league teams now is done from the dugout. When to throw over, pickoffs, pitch outs, things of that nature. Sometimes it'll be a signal for the pitcher just to hold the ball, come set and hold it, and then step off.
2-2. The Atlanta Braves come in tomorrow night. That's the first of a 4-game series.
Astros catch a little bit of a break in that they won't see Jair Jurgens. He's pitching tonight. Shutting out the Florida Marlins 1-0 after 6. Atlanta Braves have just shut down that Marlin team. Marlins have had a hard time scoring of late to begin with, and they're doing nada against Atlanta.
Marlins have lost 7 in a row now.
A new hitting coach, Eddie Perez.
Didn't know that.
Eduardo, yeah.
The Rangers got a new hitting coach as well.
Yeah, they fired Thad Bosley and brought up Scott Coolbaugh from their AAA club. And Eduardo Perez left the set of Baseball Tonight to join the Marlins.
How about that? Bourne takes off. The pitch is high. Cruz's throw in time.
Wow.
Terry over the tag.
He does have something to throw with. Michael does not get a real big lead. The throw was a little bit inside. Maybe he got him on the arm before he got to the base. I saw no beef from Michael, so I'm guessing he got him. Hard to tell. Tough pitch to handle, too.
Yes, it was. High. Now here's the 3-2. Ball 4.
Might have just brushed his back before he got to the base.
Bill Miller made the out call on Bourne. It's only the 3rd time Michael's been thrown out this year. One of those, I believe, is on a pitcher's attempt. Throw over first base. Hunter Pence with the infield hit stretched his hitting streak to 20 games. He came around to score on the hit by Wallace. 87 hits now for Hunter. Certainly all-star numbers for Hunter Pence. And there's strike 1. He's hit .367 against the Cardinals this season. Cubs and the Phillies are in a delay in the bottom of the 3rd. Phillies 3, Cubs nothing. Jimmy Rollins hit his 4th home run. There was talk about placing him on the DL. He was outspoken against that the other day. It's 1-1. Arizona nothing, Pittsburgh nothing after 6 at PNC Park, where the Pirates have continued to play well. They're now 30-30. First time since 05 they've been at 500 after 60 games. Hunter did not have his heart in that swing. 1-2.
He's showing a good breaking ball, and he's thrown both curveball and a slider. Pretty good command of that outside corner with his fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Detroit leads Seattle 4-1. They're in the last of the 7th at Detroit. Brendan Bosch hit his 8th home run. The Tigers just a game and a half behind Cleveland in the AL Central. Bouncer, and that one will go by Green into right field. Couldn't quite get it, and Pence is 2 for 2. Keppinger to second.
He down an infield hit to short last time up. Now he pokes this one through the hole on the right side. Even off the end of the bat, he's so strong. That ball had a lot of top spin. Second bounce just jumps through there.
Now you can see it there on that replay. He did take off. Now Pence with 2 hits. The Astros with 6. LaRussa positioning fielders. Moving first baseman Hamilton in a little bit. Carlos Lee, the batter. Walked 5 times in this series. Carlos has been exercising his judgment. And he did draw a walk in the first inning. Fred Wallace on deck. Fouls that one away for strike 1. The Astros had been hitting very well. They were second in the National League in batting average with men in scoring position until about 5 days ago. And they have not been delivering very often in those last 5 days. They had lost 4 in a row prior to last night. During those 4 games, they were hitting 125 with men in scoring position. One and one. Well, Lynn has only really retired 4 batters because the Berkman throw was cut off on that 3rd out of the first inning. He got a double play ball in the 2nd. And caught stealing here in this inning. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Mentioned the Braves series starting tomorrow night. Tim Hudson goes for Atlanta against Anewi Rodriguez tomorrow night at 7:05 in the opener of that 4-game series. Jordan Lyles pitching Saturday night at 6:05. The Braves have not yet named their starter for that one.
Breaking ball was a little lazy, but he got away with it. Carlos thought it was up, quit on it, and just settled into the top of the strike zone. Yeah, so you look at the scoreboard and he's given up 6 hits, and you talk about the help he's got with the double play ball and the caught stealing. But then when you look at the nature of the hits he's given up, there's a line drive off the glove of Terrio, wasn't hit particularly hard. Hunter had the infield hit. This bounce, they're not squaring him up very well.
No.
And there was one to square up right there.
That was.
And he found a little something extra. That one at 93 miles an hour. Perhaps his best fastball of the evening.
That got him a foul ball. Lee has hit .280 against the Redbirds this year with a homer, 6 runs batted in for Carlos. It's 3-2, and now let's see what the runners are doing with 1 out.
Carlos doesn't strike out a lot, so you could start him not being overly worried about a strikeout throwout double play, but he doesn't hit the ball on the ground a lot either, so you're not overly concerned with the ground ball double play. Not to say it wouldn't happen.
They go. Throw to third base. That's ball 4. The appeal goes to the first base umpire, and it is a check swing. So the bases are loaded on the walk to Lee. That's a 3rd walk for Lynn.
High fastball. And Carlos started to reach for that piece of cake. And then he said, no, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
And he laid off.
He continues to draw a lot of walks in this series. This one gets Wallace to the plate with the bases loaded, 1 out. Wallace hit a ground ball RBI single through the left side of the infield in the 1st. Wallace has hit more than 400 against the Cardinals last year and this year. 167 is his career average with the bases loaded. Strike to Brett. Oakland, under a new manager tonight, is trailing 3-1. Playing at Chicago against the White Sox.
Dumped Bob Guerin, hired Bob Melvin.
It's 0-2. Reading that story today was interesting. Bob Guerin was the best man at general manager Billy Beane's wedding.
Yeah, that's a tough one. They've been friends since high school. Grew up in Southern California, and you have to call him into your office and let him know that it's time to move on. That is tough.
Chris Johnson on deck. Wallace taps it foul. Astros forcing Lynn to throw a lot of pitches in each of the first 3 innings here. He's had a lot of traffic.
The Cardinals outfield, they kind of bunch Wallace way off the line. In right field is John Jay. Berkman towards the end of the scoreboard and left, so they're bunching the gaps, and that's probably a prudent strategy. He's more of an alley-to-alley guy.
In tight to him. 1-2 to Wallace.
Colby Rasmus continues to play a very daring center field. He plays very shallow out there. If Wallace can drive one over his head and clear the bases. Pence hit one up on top of Tal's Hill last night for a triple.
Fastball got him. Second strikeout for. That one came at a good time for him. Now it's Chris Johnson.
A piece of cake that Carlos was able to avoid. Wally could not.
Johnson singled through the left side in the second inning. A well-hit ball for CJ. Cardinals should get a lift if Johnson makes an out here after the Astros had the bases loaded, 1 out. First 4 men to come up reach base in the inning. Terrio tosses to Green for the force play. It's no runs, 2 hits, 3 men stranded. After 3, it's tied 1-1. To fly the Houston Astros since 2009. Bud Norris's 6 wins against St. Louis are the most by any pitcher against the Cardinals. And he also has a 2.45 career ERA against them. It's a fine game last night, giving up 1 hit and 1 run. A Lance Berkman homer in 8 innings.
Walked 5, but made very few mistakes over the plate. Very tough to hit. I was talking with Lance during BP today, and he was just raving about Bunce. Man, he was really throwing well. Good stuff down around the knees.
Some of the other Cardinals were echoing those sentiments. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lance, who struck out in the first inning. Fouls that one back, and it's 1-2. Lance got a cortisone shot on his right wrist after the game Saturday night, and sat out Sunday. Monday was a day off, and returned feeling much better Tuesday night. Two balls, 2 strikes. Steve and Cindy Fauerbach are here from Mayville, Wisconsin. They've been Astros fans for 46 years. Broken bat. Farmas. 1 out. We see them when we go to Milwaukee.
Yeah, those folks always come down by the booth and say hey.
Jay Happ gets the ground out. He faces Hamilton. Cardinals have some pretty good players on the shelf right now. So Hamilton gets a shot at playing tonight. We mentioned Freese, we mentioned Holiday, Nick Punto, pitcher Adam Wainwright, Gerald Laird, Kyle McClellan. Hamilton looks at ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Texas 1, Minnesota 1. They played 3.5 in Minnesota. Josh Hamilton hit his 4th homer. Delman Young, number 2. Big cut and a foul ball for Hamilton makes it 2-1. It's Nick Blackburn for Minnesota tonight against Derek Holland for Texas.
Holland threw a shutout last time out, I believe.
I think you're right. Kansas City beat Toronto earlier today, 3-2. That's in for a strike, and it's 2-2 for Jay Happ.
Smooth sailing right now for Jay Happ.
And he gets another swing and a miss for strikeout number 5.
Good change up there, so he's got it all going on. Fastball location is good. Good breaking ball. Mixing in the change.
See that bat out in front of the arrival of the baseball. At home, Jay has an ERA this season of 2.70 for 6 starts. Cruz, the batter. He looks at ball 1. Yadier Molina's having an excellent season. He's hitting .314. He's driven in 24. He's getting a rest tonight. 2 balls, no strikes to Cruz. Cruz, a 26th round draft choice in 07. Born in Palm Beach, Florida. Went to Palm Beach Community College. He was converted to catcher in 08. He had been a first and third baseman. Second career start tonight. Fly ball outside the right field line. Will go back out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Alan Craig, we mentioned, had 3 stitches in his knee from that collision with the right field wall. Craig is hitting .336. He's driven in 23.
June 1st, Berkman, Holiday, Craig, and John Jay were all hitting .330 or better. First time the Cardinals have had that happen since 1930.
Two balls, 2 strikes. He got one.
I can't believe it. You made the play. Like winning the lotto.
2 hopper to Keppinger. Over to Wallace. It's a routine 4th inning for Jay Happ. He keeps it tied 1-1.
at 1 in the bottom of the fourth. And on Saturday, June 25th, the Astros and Boot Campaign present a post-game concert featuring Creed frontman Scott Stapp. The Astros host the Rays at 6:05, and a portion of the proceeds benefit the Lone Survivor Foundation to support returning war veterans. Visit astros.com/boot for tickets. Sounds like it should be a good one, guys.
Excellent, Patty. Thank you. It's a 1-1 game here. A good one going. Bottom of the fourth inning arrives with Clint Barmas leading it off. He singled to left in the second inning. Astros had something working against Lance Lynn, but then he got a double play ball. J.R. Tolles batting. Almost hit Barmas with that one on the left elbow. It's ball one to Clint. Mets 2, Milwaukee nothing. They're in the bottom of the fourth at Miller Park. Jonathan Neese pitching a shutout against Giovanni Gallardo. Foul ball outside the right field line will drop there and stay in play. But it goes to a fan anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See what Tampa Bay did yesterday?
No.
Well, Joe Madden's big into the theme road trips. And like when they come here, they'll probably wear cowboy hats or something like that. I think they did last time they were here. Well, last night they played a night game in Anaheim. And then they had to fly all the way back east. They got a day off today in Baltimore, but they were scheduled to arrive at about 9 a.m. So the theme for last night was a pajama party.
Fly ball to left, Berkman over. That could have been interesting at the airport. 1 out.
And they played a 10-inning game in Anaheim last night, and you can find there's pictures on the internet. You can go to the St. Petersburg Times, or I'm sure you can bump around, just search Tampa Bay pajamas. There's some pretty good pictures.
That's beautiful. They do have some fun on those trips.
Yeah, that's man's a unique guy.
J.R. Tolles bounced into that 6-4-3 twin killing back in the second inning. Red Sox and Yankees still delayed by rain in New York. Red Sox have won the first 2 of that series. There's ball 1. The Yankees got a blow today on Jabba Chamberlain. Apparently he will have to have Tommy John surgery and miss the rest of the season. JR bangs it off his ankle.
So if you had Bob Guerin in the first manager to be fired pool, you'd be the winner, right? There hasn't been another one this year, has there?
That's right. Ooh, that one came off the left calf. Ouch. He has taken a beating the last few days.
Little shin burger?
Yeah, it might have been.
And he had the ankle problems earlier.
Sure did. He took a foul ball in a bad spot the other night. Fouls that one away. It's 1-2. Jay Happ on deck. Probably isn't a good spot to take a foul ball.
No.
Arizona and Pittsburgh, 0-0 after 7. In the air, and the first baseman might have a play on it. Hamilton comes over, reaching, and can't get it. JR still has life at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We're all ready to give him a Jeff Spicoli, awesome Hamilton, but you're not going to get it with that. You got to make the play.
Not quite there. Tolles gets another swing. That was also close to a Hamilton catch. Curveball tap to the left side. Pujols. 2 outs. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, hey, baseball fans, Chevy is proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. If you would like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. Guys, school is out, summer is in full swing, and lots of youth out here at the ballpark tonight.
Oh, yeah, you'll be finding some of them. You always do. For the fan of the game interview, right?
It's coming up. I got a couple good ones fighting over being fan of the game tonight.
Yeah, they want to be on. Jay Happ grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. His ball 1 to Jay. Jay is a 113 career hitter, but this year you wouldn't think so. Boy, he's been swinging it. 1-1.
Yeah, that guy's gone. This is a new guy.
He was a third-round pick by the Phillies in 04. Up the middle, Terrio. Got some crazy spin on it, but he was able to stay with it, get the out. In the fourth, it goes 1-2-3 for Lynn, and it's 1-1.
Minute Maid is available for every home game this summer. Hear what I said? Kids free. For every full-priced adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 and under. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Those might be some of them out there now.
It's a great program. Hope everybody will cash in on that one. Take advantage of a low-cost trip to the ball game.
It's better than going to watch the Iron Claw.
Iron Claw?
Well, when I was a kid, I remember there was like a series of movies, like every Wednesday afternoon in the summer months. You cut out a clipping out of the paper, and for like a quarter you could get in to see it. It was the Iron Claw, some murder mystery, old black and white movie.
Okay.
Forgot all about that until you mentioned bringing the kids to the Iron Claw.
Colby Rasmus reached on an error in the second inning.
Be a good nickname for a bad fielder.
They used to call Dick Stewart Dr. Strangeglove. That was a pretty good one. That's strike one to Rasmus. Which outfielder were you talking about last night on the Vin Scully story about the Red Sox?
Oh, it was Frenchie Bordegaray.
Frenchie Bordegaray, yeah. There's another guy named Smead Jolly.
Might have been Smead Jolly.
Yeah.
Because I know, I don't even know if Bordegaray was an outfielder. I just can hear Vin Scully in my ear telling Smead Jolly and Frenchie Bordegaray stories.
Deep drive to right. Hunter Pence backing on it. Right in front of the wall. One long out for Rasmus. We go to Patty again. Patty?
Well, I'm with our fan of the game, our progressive fan of the game, Justin Sarabia. That ball was hit right out by us. Now, we've been having a contest. Like I said, I've got a couple fans that were vying for fan of the game. Justin tweeted me 4 times with 4 different reasons why he should be fan of the game. Number 1 was?
It's my girlfriend's first game.
All right, that was a good one. It was the first game. You enjoying it?
Yes.
All right, you also told me in the draft you did an entire spreadsheet, broke it down player by player. Yes. After all that, what can you tell us? What's your assessment?
We got a lot of pitching. I was bored at work, so all 50 players, I did a spreadsheet and looking bright for the future for us.
Yeah, so you like what we got?
Yes, I love it. So.
All right, and number 3 was he's actually just trying to get an interview, trying to get a job with the Astros because he's such a big fan. So we're going to kind of pretend this is your interview. Why should you work for this organization?
Because I will do anything and everything to work for this organization. I love the team, love the city, and we'll do an awesome job, whether it's dirty work or good work. So I'll do anything.
All right, powers that be, hopefully you saw that. This is a good kid, a good fan, and probably a good worker. And for all of that, he is our progressive fan of the game. Justin, thank you so much, and enjoy your first game.
Thank you. Thank you.
guys.
Thanks, Patty. Tyler Green singles on that line drive to center field, a 1-out hit.
Can't hire Justin to be at his computer doing fantasy drafts all day.
He's really into it. If he's analyzed the draft already.
That's deep. That is deep fandom right there, boy.
You got him with that one. Now here's the pitcher Lynn coming up in a bunting situation. He struck out in the 3rd inning. Chris Johnson's right on his doorstep. Bunted in the air and foul. Too far foul for Brett Wallace to get over. Strike 1. Kansas City Royals are calling up one of their top prospects who will debut on Friday, Mike Moustakas.
A well-stocked organization, and slowly but surely those kids are coming to the big leagues. They're going to be a team to keep an eye on over the next 4 or 5 years.
That's high, and he takes it for ball 1.
Good job by Brett Wallace there. With a lefty on the mound, you gain a little bit of an advantage because the base runner is not going to be quite as cavalier with a left-handed pitcher on the mound. So if you can kind of stay put a little while longer, you can tighten up that lead a little bit. If you leave early, Green's the kind of guy who can swipe a bag on you. Rushing his delivery a little bit, misfiring up. Needs to slow down just a little bit. Trying to be quick to home plate. And in so doing, he's left a couple of balls up. So what was the Smead Jolly story, Don?
Well, as I recall, he was playing left field at Fenway Park. You were talking about that terrace. And he let a ball go through his legs, and it rolled up the terrace to the wall. He turned around to play the carom, and it rolled back through his legs a second time. Bunted, and Wallace is there to catch that fly ball on the bunt for out number 2. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frost Brewed Coors Light. On Ryan Theriot up the middle. And there's a line drive by Michael Bourne. He got leather on it, couldn't hold it. It's a Michael Bourne hit in the 3rd inning. Now Theriot bats. He is 1 for 2. He led off the game with a double and came around to score on a Pujols ground out. Anthony Rizzo will be making his major league debut tonight for the Padres at first base. Highly anticipated player who came in the trade with Boston over the winter for Adrian Gonzalez. And he had eye-popping numbers at AAA Tucson. 365, 16 homers, 63 runs batted in. Runner going. Throw from Tolles. Safe. Stolen base for Green. He's 8 for 8.
And JR's had a hard time throwing out base stealers this year. But that was a good strong throw this time. A little bit high. Green able to get under the tag.
Pitch for strike 1 to Theriot. Now he backs away and wants to see signs again from Oquendo.
Just pulled up a story here on Smead Jolly. On that play you're talking about, he was charged with 3 errors. 1 for the ball going through his legs the first time, 1 for missing the carom, and then he made an errant throw throwing it back in.
3 errors on 1 play? That is outrageous.
Tommy John did that once.
Oh, that's right. Is that the one where he cut off the throw to the plate?
Yeah. I think that was the 3rd and final. Then he made a bad throw home.
0 balls, 2 strikes with Green off second. Only touched the ball once and he got 3 errors. That's tough. Two or 2.
Seems like that would happen to a guy named Smead Jolly too. Yeah. Wouldn't have happened to Ben Smith.
No. John Jay wouldn't do that.
No.
Fouled away. Theriot battling. Cardinals have been out hit by the Astros 6-3. It's a 1-1 ball game. We're in the 5th inning. Cardinals batting, and they have a runner at second, 2 outs. Glad you're with us tonight. Bill Brown, Jim DeShays. Greg Lucas is back with us. Illness only claimed him for 1 night, and Patty Smith is here. Greg wanted to try to get here last night, but he was sick.
Just a few days shy of Cal Ripken's record. unfortunately couldn't make it last night.
Greg, when's the last time you missed a game?
I've never missed a full game. Most famous one is one that Barry Warner will never let me forget, because I was doing the Rockets basketball, and it was in San Antonio, and I had a kidney stone, and at halftime I had to leave. I couldn't, and Barry finished the game as the play-by-play man. He'll never let me forget it.
Line drive right, Hunter Pence with a grab. And here in the Cardinal fifth, it's no runs ahead. A runner stranded at second, and it's still tied 1-1.
Guarantee you will be a three-bell ringer. There's three answers. What three St. Louis managers have held the job for at least 10 seasons or more? There have only been three in the long history of the franchise. One of them we obviously know.
Michael Bourne leads it off here, and it's a 1-1 game in the bottom of the fifth. He takes ball one. Michael hit that line drive, gloved by Terrio, who couldn't hold it, and that gave him a single in the third, and a 10-game hitting streak now. He's 1 for 2 in this game.
I should probably just go ahead and ring the first one already.
Tony La Russa.
You've already talked about his 5,000th game.
What did I miss? I went and got a cup of coffee, and I was chatting with Arthur.
You can go the other two. Well,
3 Cardinal managers have managed their
10
club for
seasons
10
or
years
more.
or more. Red Shandies.
Yeah. Oh, you're ringing on each correct answer.
Yeah, there are three answers. So two out of three.
You got Tony, right?
Yep, got Tony.
Tony and Red. Now we're pausing.
Frankie Frisch.
You don't have to go back that far.
What he heard
on the rat.
His was exactly 10, so that's your answers. We'll show that for the people who aren't paying a darn attention to what we're saying graphically in a moment.
Michael Bourne hits one foul. Now, you weren't paying a darn bit of attention last night, were you, Greg?
Well, first of all, let me mention the answers. They are Russo, Shane Dean, and Herzog. Okay, now repeat the question, please.
You were not paying a darn bit of attention last night, were you, to the game?
I was watching part of the game. By the way, thank you for the nice words you said about me. I was watching at that point.
Okay. Glad you're back. Michael Bourne hits a fly ball to left. Lance Berkman doesn't have too far to go. And it's one out for Lance Lynn.
Without being too descriptive, let's just say I was in another portion of the house a lot.
Jeff Keppinger comes up. He is grounded out and he's walked.
Herzog's rules: be on time, bust your butt, play smart, have some laughs while you're at it. Pretty solid. If I was a manager, I'd buy into that program.
Other tents on deck.
I think the mistake some managers make is they lay down too many rules. Probably not so much anymore, but back in the day. And then you get caught in a position where you're having to enforce those rules all the time. And if you get selective with the way you enforce your rules, then you've got problems. What applies to the star player does not apply to the 25th man on the roster. You're creating a divide in the clubhouse.
Strike one to Keppinger. Tomorrow night is Aggie night at Minute Maid Park. The maroon Astros caps will be given out. 1 ball, 1 strike. We got some of those. They are sharp-looking caps.
Yeah, I mean, I can get a couple of these bad boys. And I don't know if my dad's watching back in New York, but I got Father's Day and his birthday wrapped up right here. And get a couple of these. We're good to go.
Nice looking cap.
You ready to land the chopper, Brownie?
It doesn't look too good over headphones, does it? It's a 2 ball, 2 strike count to Jeff Keppinger. We think people like that color, though. Great color, isn't it?
Isn't this the same color of Jim Crane's alma mater?
Central Missouri Mules in Warrensburg, Missouri.
You're not going to win.
He might want to get some of these for that Mules team. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
The Mules, I wonder how they came by that nickname.
Not sure. Maybe they were stubborn.
Or slow.
That's a bad combination for an athletic team. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 88 pitches for Lance Lynn. The Astros once again doing a good job of working the count like they did on Jaime Garcia last night. Fastball foul back. Still a full count.
Well, I think you see this a lot with the young pitcher new to the league. There's a tendency to perhaps overrate major league hitters. So whereas a veteran guy might be more willing against certain hitters to be real aggressive early in the count. Hey, this guy can't take me deep. I'm just going to throw a good low fastball down around the knees. Try to get a ground ball.
Jay with the liner. 2 outs.
A player new to the league. There's a tendency to treat every hitter like he's Babe Ruth. And these guys are big league hitters. They got to be real careful, and you're picking at spots and you're trying to trick guys. And not to say you can't be successful doing that or have a good night because he's only allowed the 1 run, but that style of pitching does run up a high pitch count.
Hunter Pence is 2 for 2 against him. Hunter chopped a single shortstop and then single to right field with a ground ball.
It can be an almost surreal moment for a young pitcher. And I'm sure for a position player too, when you go mano a mano against some of the stars. I remember when I got traded over here and I pitched in Cincinnati in relief, and Pete Rose came up to hit.
Oh,
this is really bizarre.
How did you do against him?
I probably walked him, but I probably got squeezed because he was Pete Rose. But if we didn't have cell phones back in the day, but that's what you would have wanted to step off the mound and text somebody. Hey, text your college buddies. I'm pitching against Pete Rose. Can you believe this?
It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count to Hunter. Later tonight at Cincinnati at San Francisco. Johnny Cueto to pitch for the Reds, who have been stumbling. Bumgarner on the mound for San Francisco tonight.
I also remember when I first got called up to the Yankees, and Tom Seaver was finishing his career. He was with the White Sox. And I was watching him just walk in from the bullpen and just slack-jawed.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that very purposeful stride.
And then you join this club, and there's Nolan Ryan in the clubhouse.
Struck him out. That's a 1-2-3 fifth for Lynn. That's his 3rd strikeout. He keeps it tied 1-1.
Airlines new rapid no blackout dates. By Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. And by Gullo Automotive, treating you like family. Now back to the broadcast booth, Bill Brown and Jim Duchesne.
Thank you, Greg Lucas. It's 1-1 after 5. The Astros have 6 hits to the Cardinals 3. Jay Happ versus John Jay. Slashing a line drive to left field. Jay leads it off with a hit here in the 6th inning, and he is 2 for 2 with a sac bunt tonight.
Kind of goes against the grain. We talked so much about high average hitters and how quiet they are in the batter's box, but Jay, anything but quiet with all that arm action going. Still hitting up around 320.
Albert Pujols hit that ground out in the first to score Terrio, and then he hit a BB line drive to third base his last time up. Ball 1 to Prince Albert. And it's Berkman on deck.
Not a bad try there. Backdoor breaking ball. That's never a strike until the very end. That pitch could have gone either way.
Now 2 balls, no strikes. Pujols hit 25 of his 42 homers last year on the road. Led the league in road home runs. Cardinals are hitting a lot better this season away from home.
Yeah, they're averaging 5.5 runs a game on the road. So he went breaking ball away, changeup away, then high fastball. Very, very cautious. You cannot abandon that game plan now. You can't afford to pump a 3-0 fastball over the heart of the plate in this situation.
Four-pitch walk. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for Berkman now.
Trying to catch that outside corner with the fastball.
First walk. And now Happ and Tolles talk it over with Berkman having struck out and grounded to short. The Cardinals are hitting 30 points higher on the road than at home. 291 on the road, 261 at home. Berkman with 4 home runs against his former mates this season has driven in 10. He is 10 for 23 against Houston pitching this year. Jay checking around at second to see where Barmes is playing. In the air, shallow right field outside the line. Wallace can't get there. Strike 1 for Berkman. Hunter Pence, of course, had no shot at that where he was playing Lance. Dodgers got a run in the 4th. They lead 1-0 at Colorado with Clayton Kershaw on the mound in the bottom of the 4th inning. Detroit down Seattle 4-1. Justin Verlander going to 7-3 with a 2.89 ERA. Valverde got a 16th save. 1-1 to Berkman. Lance signed a 1-year contract for $8 million to join the Cardinals as a free agent last winter. He rips a line drive deep left over Carlos Lee, bangs it high off the wall. Here's a go-ahead run scoring, and Jay is home to make it 2-1 on what is a long RBI single. Pujols went first to third. Berkman now has a 5-game hitting streak. 44th run batted in for Berkman.
And we showed you the numbers at the beginning of the ball game on Lance. Far better from the right side this year than last. Trying to run that cutter in on his hands, but he's shown a quick bat from both sides of the plate this year, and he jumped all over that one. Thankfully for Jay, it stayed in the yard. That ball was blistered.
John Jay scoring to make it 2-1, and now Brad Arnsberg is coming out.
Yeah, and that's why you alluded to it earlier. People questioning Mike Quade for pitching to Pujols over the weekend, and Albert hit 2 game-winning home runs. But that's the conundrum you're faced with. If you don't pitch him, you put a man on base, and as great a hitter as he is, and as often as we've seen him do it, the numbers tell you, you got a pretty good chance of getting him out. Even the guy's hitting 330, you're still going to get him out a high percentage of the time. But he does, he does so many big things, and you remember these. You remember that swing at the bat. Marza can't believe it. Everybody here remembers the home run he hit off lid. You forget all the times you popped him up or you got him to ground into a double play. Enjoyed that one.
That one came off Rodrigo Lopez. Pujols became the 11th major leaguer to hit game-ending homers in consecutive games. First since Albert Bell in 1995. The other St. Louis player to do it was Stan Musial in August 1948. Now Mark Hamilton. In-tight ball one. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. Armas and Keppinger set up for a double play with Wilton Lopez joining lefty Sergio Escalona in the bullpen. Keppinger has a play at the plate. He tags the runner. Now he throws home. Tolles with a tag. Safe at the plate. And Pujols scores to make it 3-1. Keppinger first was looking home. Pujols stopped. Then Keppinger made the tag as Berkman ran into the out and tried to get the ball onto the plate in time, but Pujols scored run number 3.
A whole lot going on there. Almost a great play pulled off by Keppinger. Sharply hit, and he was positioned in such a way where he could have gone for 2 or made a play home if Pujols was going. Pujols hesitates a little bit, takes a look at him, applies the tag.
Now it's Cruz with a hit through the left side. And the Cardinals get hit number 3 of the inning.
Really an unintended assist there for Lance Berkman, because if he doesn't show up in Kep's radar screen, Jeff just stays on Pujols. Chases him back and then gets an out either at second or first base. But Lance cozying right up to Keppinger, and Keppinger went ahead and tagged him, and that allowed Pujols the opportunity to sneak home.
Gave Hamilton his first RBI. And it's 3-1 with Rasmus batting now. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Rasmus 0 for 2.
And I say unintended because there's no way Lance or anybody else would think through that play and go, here's what's going to happen.
Right. In tight for ball 1. Happ has thrown 90 pitches. 55 strikes for Jay. Ball's behind 2-0 on Rasmus. In 6 of the last 7 starts, Happ has gone at least 6 innings. Now he's fallen behind 3-0 on Rasmus.
Cardinals really came out of that situation nicely, because defensively in that situation you're looking for one of 2 things. You're going to throw the man out trying to score, or you're going to turn 2. The Astros got neither.
Yeah. Now a 4-pitch walk loads the bases for Green. Second walk for Happ. They both come in this inning.
It's kind of that tween time in the ball game too. Early in the game, you're just going to let that run score and turn 2. Late in the game, you're going to come home and do everything you can to make sure that run doesn't score. But here in the 6th inning, you could play it either way.
This call to the bullpen is presented by Verizon Wireless. Wilton Lopez, the right-hander, has been warming up. We'll be right back. Gets that big sprint going when he comes in from the bullpen. High octane guy, and now if he can get a double play ball, that will be a wonderful trip from the bullpen to the mound after Jay Happ leaves with those numbers.
5 1/3 innings of 6-hit 3-run baseball thus far. Of course, he's responsible for the 3 men on base, so his line could go from not so bad to ooh, that was ugly, and falls on the shoulders of Wilton Lopez to clean it up here. He's 1-2 with a 2.66 ERA. He's a good ground ball guy, and that's exactly what you're looking for right here.
Tyler Green batting. He's 1 for 2. Strike 1 on Green. Pitcher Lance Lynn on deck. Cardinals leading by 2.
The sink. It's the double play pitch right there. He hits that one. It's on the ground somewhere, preferably right at Barmas.
Lopez last worked on Sunday at San Diego. Line drive is hooking and into the seats.
Be careless. Don't elevate that thing.
Well, a few times this year he has, and he's been burned. 42 ground ball to 15 fly ball outs. 2.8 ratio. A very good ratio, but what's he going to do this time? That's the question. He pitched scoreless ball Thursday and Sunday in the San Diego series. That pitch was up, and at times he has shown that tendency this season, and usually if he throws enough pitches up in that area, he's not going to be in that game very long.
Yeah, he can get away with that one because it had a little run in on the hands a little bit, but he cannot afford to live up there.
One ball, 2 strikes. The fact that he has not pitched since Sunday might work a little bit against him, being the type pitcher he is. Sometimes a pitcher who throws that hard sinker wants to be kind of tired when he comes in.
Good sinker there. That's the one. That's the money pitch. He can, sometimes the sinker ball will tell you I'm too strong, and you know, he'll add velocity but lose movement.
Cardinals have Miguel Batista warming up in their bullpen. Three and 2.
Tantalizing slider. Green does a nice job laying off. It's number 6 there on Fox Tracks, just sliding off that outside corner.
Big pitch coming here. And it's foul.
Showed him one away and then right back in with the sinker under the hands.
Lopez spent some time on the disabled list with elbow problems this year. Since he came back, he's been much more effective. He returned from the DL on May 2nd. And in 19 innings since then, his ERA is 1.42. Now it's the starting pitcher's ERA that's of more concern. Popped up. Chris Johnson over. He's out of room. Can't get to it. The little guy got one.
Pretty much completes his night, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Of course, sitting there, he may have 3 or 4 balls already flipped up from the dugout.
Players are pretty generous. Popped up back in the upper deck by 27-year-old Tyler Green. First round draft choice in 05 by the Redbirds from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This will be the 10th pitch he's seen in this at bat. Green first came to the big leagues in 09 with the Cardinals. Spent some more time with them last year, but just over 100 at bats both of those 2 seasons. He homered off Jay Happ here back in April.
Good pitch.
That's
wow.
4-1 ball game.
Man, that was a good pitch. After all that work, he makes the best pitch of the sequence. One, doesn't get the call, and two, how does Tyler Green lay off? Because he was in swing mode. And borderline pitch. Foxtrot's had it at the knees. Not a horrible call. Bottom of the knees. Boy, what a great pitch.
Dan Descalzo will be the pinch hitter for Lance Lynn. Lynn has qualified for his first major league victory with 5 innings of work tonight. Bases loaded as Descalzo comes up.
That's one of those instances where the box score is not going to tell the story. You're like, geez, Lopez walked in a run, the base is loaded. But look at the pitch he made on 3-2.
Descalzo has been playing quite a bit lately. He's had 157 at bats this year, hitting .242, 1 homer, 17 runs batted in. He is 3 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Bounces one high and foul.
Astros down 3. Still a winnable game, but you got to make something happen here. Got to get out of this mess.
And could be the winning pitcher with that pitching line tonight. And Batista warming up. So La Russa playing for the big inning, with Lynn having retired 8 in a row, but having thrown a lot of pitches.
Tony's closer, Fernando Salas, worked 2 innings in the opening game of this series, threw a bunch of pitches, and yesterday Tony wondered whether Salas would be available today or not. It remains to be seen. So, I mean, you know what Tony's thinking. Just pour it on here, fellas, and won't have to worry about using my closer.
There was one story that they told Salas after Tuesday night, don't worry about pitching again in this series. That's in for a strike. 1-2 to Descalzo. Lynn threw 94 pitches tonight in his 5 innings. Cruz at third, Rasmus at second base, and Green, who took the bases loaded walk and got his 9th RBIs at first. Two and 2 to Daniel Descalzo. Had some good games against the Astros this year. Catcher Cruz. Rasmus and Green behind him.
Need a comebacker.
Foul ball instead. Still 2-2 for Wilton Lopez.
Cardinals have a lot of firepower, plenty of power in their lineup. A little bit diminished right now with Matt Holliday on the disabled list, but this inning it's been singles and walks, 3 of each.
All the way again. Brandon Lyon has returned to the Houston bullpen as of tonight. And the plan for Brad Mills is to work him back into the closer's role, but that will require a few relief appearances in non-closing situations first, just to make sure Brandon is feeling good about everything. He had 2 very good minor league rehab appearances. They were both really quick. Smash into right field. That'll score Cruz, and then Rasmus comes to the plate. And the throw is cut off. Throw to second base. Safe there. And the Cardinals get a couple of runners home. And a pinch 2-run single by Descalzo. He winds up at second. 6-1 St. Louis.
Sometimes as a pitcher you go through those stretches, and sometimes it lasts the whole year where you don't get any run support and you don't strand many base runners either. You come out of the game with a couple guys on board and they manage to come around and score, and it inflates that ERA.
Well, it sure did for Jay Happ. Those 2 runners scoring, charging him with 6 earned runs on 6 hits and 5 1/3 innings, walking 2, fanning 5. Infield comes in now. Jeff Fulcino warming up. Here's Terrio batting. Taking ball 1. He's the 9th Cardinal to bat.
Still just 1 out in the inning.
John Jay is on deck.
Similar to Brett Meyer's game the other day, where you don't give up that many base runners, but just about all of them come around to score.
Yeah.
Certain amount of bad luck involved in that.
Brad Mills went to his bullpen, 3-1, bases loaded, hoping Lopez could get out of the inning. And the Cardinals instead taking some close pitches. Now it's 3-0.
Yeah, what happened to that Tom Hallion twist we saw early in the game? We haven't seen much of that lately.
No. Chubby Checker left town.
That 3-2 pitch to Green, that would have been a good time to break that out.
Cardinals are averaging 4.9 runs per game. They're in a favorable position right here with the infield in, runners at second and third and 1 down, and a 3-0 count on Terrio. Pops it back, 3-1 to Ryan.
That book I told you about last night, Scorecasting. The authors of that book, they put forth the theory that home field advantage is directly tied to officials.
Interesting.
Yes, it has to do with the psychology of conformity. So if you're in a ballpark with a lot of people and they're excited and they're pulling for a certain outcome, you tend to lean that way. It's not intentional. They've actually they go back to this psychologist who did this test back, I don't know, in the 60s or 70s, some time ago, and he actually showed a group of people a piece of paper with like 3 lines on it, and it was like 3 people. 2 of the people were plants. And there's 3 different, and 3 different lines, and another sheet of paper with a line that matched one of them. But the plant said that the line matched the improper line, but the other person bought into it. So yeah, it does. That's the one it matches.
Swing and a miss.
I don't know if I explained that accurately enough, but that's kind of what he says is going on, or that they say is going on with umpires.
Influenced by.
Yeah, they want to conform.
Now Brad Mills is going to make a move to the bullpen. He's got the lefty Escalona for the lefty hitting Jay, if he wants to go in that direction, and he apparently does. A rough outing here for Lopez.
Things have gone south, but you got to keep managing, keep trying.
6-1 St. Louis. Back in a moment.
Stars will gather together in Arizona desert for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix at 7 p.m. Central, only on Fox. And here's a look at the National League leaders right there for that game. Lance Berkman, you can see out there. And fans, you got to get out there and vote for some of your Houston Astros. There's voting here at the ballpark. You can go online. Let's get some Houston Astro votes up there. Bill?
MLB.com is where you can vote. Sergio Escalona comes in. He's 1-0. His ERA 2.57. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, facing Jay. And the breaking pitch works for strike one. Jay opened the inning with a single to left. He is 2 for 2 with a sack.
Kind of locked him up. That big breaking ball.
Bouncer, backhanded. Wallace falling down. Throws from a knee to Escalona. And the Cardinals send 10 men to the plate in the 6th inning. They score 5 times on 4 hits. And strand 2, it's 6-1 St. Louis. And now they have a 5-run lead, so they make defensive moves with Skip Schumacher going in to play right field for John Jay. Daniel Descalzo, after pinch hitting for the pitcher Lynn, stays in to play third base. Albert Pujols has shifted across the diamond from third base to first base. With the 5-run lead, they go to the bullpen, and Tony plucks Miguel Batista. He's 3-1 with a 2.03 ERA out of that bullpen.
From one extreme to the other, a man making his second major league start passes the baton to a man who's been around for a long time, Miguel Batista. 1992 when he first appeared in the big leagues. 40-ish. Is he 40, 41?
He's 40.
610 times he's trotted out there. One more win for 100. Solid contributor in a lot of different roles over the years, both as a starter and working out of the bullpen.
Quite a career for Miguel Batista from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Many appearances against the Astros as a starter and reliever throughout the years. Now it's Carlos Lee. He's walked both times tonight. He'll be followed by Wallace and Johnson. Lynn retired the final 8 men he faced and is qualified for his first major league win. Milton Lopez in 1/3 of an inning gave up 1 hit, no runs, had a walk and a strikeout. Batista delivers, and it's ball 1. The Astros are going to need some really good at bats to get back in this one, down by 5. Fly ball goes to center. Rasmus moving in. 1 out for Batista. Time for a look at our Brown Hand Center great hands of the game. And here is Brett Wallace's play to end that last inning. He was able to stay with that ball, get in front of it. Even though he left his feet, he made the play. Putting it on to Escalona. Good job.
and that's a difficult play to begin with. And when you've been out there for such a long inning, sometimes the concentration wavers a little bit.
Wallace had the RBI single in the first. He struck out in the third. That's strike one. Yeah, and if you don't make that play after that long an inning, it gets really ugly. Little roller, Pujols. Little toss. Batista's there, 2 outs. Now Chris Johnson, who singled to left in the second inning. The Astros had something working with 2 hits and a run in the first, 2 more hits in the second, 2 more hits in the third, but came away with only the 1 run. They hit into a double play in the second inning. They had a caught stealing in the third.
Bases loaded in the third inning. And then went out meekly and have not had a base runner since.
They've had some bases loaded failures in the last week. Johnson's 1 for 2. Arizona got 2 in the 8th and held on to beat Pittsburgh 2-0 in Pittsburgh. Out of the way, there's strike 1. Micah Owings got his second win against no losses. Chris Resop was the loser. Chris Young hit his 12th home run for the 2 runs in that 8th inning. Coming off Resop after Jeff Karstens, the Pirates starter, gone 7 shutout frames. Foul ball makes it 0-2 for Chris Johnson. The Arizona club looking pretty spunky in the NL West. Arizona's 34-29. Snapping the 3-game losing streak with that one, and the Pirates were going for a sweep. Pirates have had some bigger crowds at home recently, and they played pretty well at home. 3 games under 500. Check swing call, 1-2. But that's an improvement over where they had been. Well, you just sense it in Pittsburgh. Any kind of an improvement will be welcome with open arms.
Clint Hurdle's going to be the mayor there pretty soon if they finish above 500. They've won 17 road games this year, which I believe is as many or more than they won all last year.
It is more. Struck him out. That's a 1-2-3 6th for Batista. Strikeout number 4 for Redbird pitchers. 6-1 St. Louis.
West leading Rangers head to Minnesota to take on the struggling Twins. This week's telecast of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 3 p.m. Central. The Rangers and the Twins are on the Fox Television Network. Jeff Fulcino is in to pitch for the Astros. Bill Brown from the Shays in the booth.
We're watching a right-hander who's 1-3, Greg, with a 4.56 ERA in 25 2/3 innings. He struck out 23. He's had the good fastball, mid-90s quite often this season, allowing 3 home runs, coming in here to work the 7th inning, down by 5 runs.
When he's been hurt with a long ball, it's usually the splitter. He'll make a mistake with the splitter up from time to time. That gets him into trouble, but for the most part, he's been pretty solid. Tries to work that 4-seam fastball down and away to the right-handed hitters. Throw one in on their knuckles. He throws a slider as well as a split finger pitch.
Albert Pujols, the first man he faces. Pujols is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's driven in a run tonight. And he takes strike 1. The Cardinals are gaining a lot of respect around the NL Central, with Cincinnati sort of fizzling to this point. Strapped by some pitching woes and some injuries. It's 0-2.
Edison Volquez was called back up by the Reds, and he pitched yesterday. Pitched pretty well.
Yeah, he got out of the doghouse. Aroldis Chapman still in the minor leagues, working out some control problems and an injury. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It should be a pretty interesting race from this point on. And especially this weekend for those fans in Milwaukee when the Cardinals pay the visit to the Brewers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Prince Fielder is having just a heyday lately. He's just been ripping home runs, driving in big runs. Milwaukee 22-8 at home coming into play today. Out to left center field. That will go into the gap. Bang off the wall. That's a double for Pujols. Took him a while to get going with doubles. That's his 9th of the year. Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. We'll see the Lance Berkman drive last night. It broke up the no-hitter on a 3-1 fastball with 2 outs in the 7th inning.
Lance hitting about 500 in his games here, close to 500 in his games against the Astros this year. Homered the first 2 games of the series and narrowly missed one last time up. Pinged that line drive off the scoreboard in front of the Crawford boxes.
Now batting left-handed. After 3 at-bats right-handed, and he fouls at strike 1. Now Albert has moved 1 ahead of Lou Brock on the all-time Cardinal doubles list, 435. Only about 290 more to catch Stan the Man. Good luck with that. Who knows how much longer Albert will be a Cardinal.
Usually make 23 or 24 All-Star games.
I think it was 23. Yeah, is that incredible? For a while they were calling Albert El Hombre, the Latino version of the Man, but he doesn't like that from what we've read. Thinks the Man ought to be there by himself. There's the toss from Wallace to Fulcino for out number 1. Pujols advancing on the Berkman ground out. And now Hamilton comes up. Hamilton got an RBI with a grounder to Keppinger. Keppinger tagging Berkman, and Pujols coming home. And it's Skip Schumacher batting in this spot now. Hamilton left the game. Schumacher 216, 1 homer, 10 runs batted in. He's had 97 at bats. He was out with a tricep injury. Infield comes in on Schumacher. Converted outfielder, moving to second base last year, but now playing the outfield again. Smacks a line drive over Keppinger. That'll be an RBI single to make it 7-1 St. Louis. Schumacher ripped that one.
I get the feeling it's one of those nights. If you're playing normal depth, ball would have been an out. But you know, that's the thing about baseball. You never know which run ultimately is going to beat you. And Some folks may say, well, why are you playing the infield in? It's 6-1. Why bother? Well, because, if you have a furious rally and you end up coming up a run short and you conceded a run, you're going to kick yourself.
Yep. Tony Cruz singled in that 5-run sixth. He's 1 for 3. Cruz looks at ball 1.
Jeff Lucchino, of course, pitched at the University of Connecticut and the Astros' first-round pick in the draft this year. A Husky as well.
1-1. George Springer.
Getting ready to play in a super regional against South Carolina. When's that happen? This weekend?
Yep. George does backflips. Apparently on his way out to the field.
His mom is a gymnastics instructor. Good action on that slider.
1-2. He's hit .350 this year. Good speed. They call him a 5-tool player, JD.
Yeah. Big, strong guy who'll probably get a little bit bigger. Can really run.
We'll have to define 5-tool player for those who are interested and don't know. Swing and a miss there by Cruz.
Hit for average, hit for power. Has speed, a good glove, and a good arm. 5 basic tools. And then you can have a 6-tool player if you got a guy who really has great baseball instincts.
Yeah.
So good depth on that slider tonight.
Yeah. Took out Cruz with it. Now it's Rasmus bat.
It's like he might be stepping across his body just a little bit. When you do that, it gives leverage. It allows you to get on top of that breaking ball a little bit better.
Okay.
Some guys do that too to get movement on a sinker.
Strike to Rasmus. The Astros have signed 7 players who have been drafted this week already. They've also already signed a catcher, a non-drafted free agent from the University of Arizona, Jacob Meskin. That's a swing on appeal to James Hoy at third, and it's 0-2 to Rasmus. They've signed their 4th pick and their 5th pick. Way out there. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, that's the real game now, signing these guys. And of course, the scouts do everything they can do to broach that subject with the players before the draft. How signable is each player going to be? That's a big part of their report that they file.
Especially with the the high school kids or the guys that still have college eligibility.
Struck him out. And for the Cardinals in the 7th inning, it's a run on 2 hits and a man left. They lead it now 7-1. Cardinals are trying to win 2 out of 3 in this series at Minute Maid Park, where they're 3-2 this season. And the Astros would love to have a furious comeback here. 11 straight Astros have been retired by the starting pitcher Lynn and by Miguel Batista, who had a 1-2-3 sixth inning. Leonard Barmes leads it off in the home 7th. He singled in the 2nd inning and hit a fly ball to left in the 4th. Way outside, ball 1 for Batista. Cincinnati failed to score in the 1st at San Francisco. Johnny Cueto now pitching to the Giants. It's a 2-0 count. Dodgers 4, Colorado nothing there in the bottom of the 6th at Coors Field. Clayton Kershaw with a shutout going.
No surprise there, boy.
No, it is not.
It is something else.
Time to drop that scorecard. He's keeping it up the whole game.
Gotta go 9. Know the distance.
Yeah. That one got him. He still looked like he tried to throw something off speed and it really ran away from him. So there's a hit fastball.
He's dealt with some control issues over the years. That first fastball he missed 2 feet outside. Now this runs way off the plate inside. Got him on the hip.
J.R. Tolles the batter. Matt Downs in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot due up next for Houston. Fernando Rodriguez is warming up in the bullpen. Tolles has grounded into a double play, and then he's bounced out to third. Matt Kemp hit his 18th homer for the Dodgers tonight. 24,482 the paid attendance.
Cruz may have been crossed up there.
Sure ran right out. See what else is going on around the major leagues. Chris Jacobowskis, one that first start since he got hurt by Lance Berkman's line drive last year. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. And Jay Bruce has been sizzling since May 15th. Adrian Gonzalez taking advantage of Fenway and his talents. Jabba Chamberlain out for the year. Jake Peavy, a groin injury now. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tolles. Mets leading 4-1, bottom of the 8th at Milwaukee. Cardinals will like that score. Line foul. Trevor Miller is warming up for the Cardinals. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Atlanta Braves will come to town tomorrow fresh off of a sweep of the Florida Marlins, a 3-game sweep in which they scored 7 runs. Winning games by the score of 1-0 and then a pair of 3-2 wins. And the bats aren't hot, but boy, can they pitch.
Line shot into center field for JR. Farmers to second base. Tolles is 1 for 3, and we get the pinch hitter Matt Downs now batting for Fulcino.
Rally's on, Browning.
Yeah, good start.
Well, you can come back from a big deficit like this, and you only got so many outs to play with. Sooner or later, somebody's going to have to pop one. Downs is a candidate. Hand's still a little tender after getting drilled by that fastball the other night from Jason Mott at 97 miles an hour.
5 for 14 pinch hitting, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in for Matt. Dave Duncan comes out. That was on an 0-2 pitch.
She's telling me to turn BP because I've been hit twice this year. One, a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, then the next night it didn't feel that bad, he said. But it looked pretty ugly when he was leading off at first base Tuesday night. He thought it broke a blood vessel. That's why it looked all black and blue. Looked better last night. Downs has a .516 slugging percentage. Duncan has made his visit to Batista.
Good swing. That's what you like to see from a pinch hitter. Good aggressive approach. Get a ball in the zone, a fastball you can handle, take a whack at it.
Jeff Fulcino worked 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 run with no walks, 2 strikeouts. Sliders outside. 1-1 for Matt Downs from the University of Alabama. There's Barmas at second and Tolles at first base. Downs, 27 years old, was born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He was a pitcher and infielder in college. Drafted by the Giants in 06 in the 36th round. He was a waiver claim last August by the Astros. Slider once again is outside the strike zone. It's 2-1 for Batista.
Fish ain't biting, not chasing that slider.
Nope.
Trying to buy himself another fastball like he had that first whack at.
They are apparently just about to start at Yankee Stadium after a long rain delay. Boston and the Yankees.
Oh, the way those two teams play, they'll be there till 4 in the morning.
It might be. They have some long at bats. Strike makes it 2-2. Terry Francona got more than 3 innings and a save from Alfredo Aceves in last night's game. So he used only the 1 reliever after Tim Wakefield went into the 6th. In the dirt, and it's 3-2 now for Matt Downs. Michael Bourne on deck. Batista, making his 23rd appearance, has allowed a .212 batting average. Phillies lead the Cubs 3-1. They've played 6 in Philadelphia. Downs fouls it. Still a full count on Matt. The Oakland A's, who changed managers, we talked about that earlier, are trying to snap a 9-game losing streak. Now under Bob Melvin, who took over for Bob Guerin, but they're losing 6-3 at Chicago in the bottom of the 8th.
Did you hear what Houston Street said about him?
No.
You know, the other guys out there accused him of not being communicative. I'll tell you after this.
Okay.
Houston Street is now with the Rockies, but had played for Bob out in Oakland, said he's the worst person I've dealt with in sports.
Ooh.
From the age of 7 to 27. It's the worst guy I've come across.
Gee.
I know.
Try to get another job after somebody says that about you.
About throwing a guy under the bus.
Yeah, he did. And he drove over him with it. That's ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Matt Downs once again off the bench contributes.
He offered at that 1 sinker and fouled it off. Batista went back to the well. Didn't chase. Only seen enough.
Can't blame him. It's a different Batista here in the 7th than the 6th inning Batista, who had a 1-2-3 frame. And now the Cardinals, who have working room with a 6-run lead, will go to another pitcher here in the 7th inning. Back in a moment.
Personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends, members of the Hall of Fame. This week, we focus on Frank Robinson. Boys in the Hall, Sundays presented by Subway, where winners eat.
Trevor Miller, the former Astro, and he's been with the Astros twice in his career, has no decisions this year, 27 games, 3 holds, a 2.25 ERA. Has not been charged with a run in any of his last 6 appearances. He comes in now with the bases loaded, nobody out, facing Michael Bourne, who's 3 for 7 against him.
Well, I'm sure the slogan in the dugout right now is keep the line moving. Just one good at bat after another, see where it takes us. Don't get too greedy, don't try to do something you're not capable of. This little line drive single would work. You take one there, get acclimated to that arm angle that Miller features. Low 3/4 crossover delivery.
Trevor came in and retired Brett Wallace Tuesday night. No balls, 2 strikes.
It's kind of Jesse Orozco-esque.
Big sweeping breaking pitch. You know, the numbers have been good for Trevor Miller. The account by account appearance not so good for him, and this time it works. And he gets a strikeout on Bourne.
Could this be, now I was going to say, could this be a rare 2-batter appearance for Trevor? But no, one and done.
That's usually the case. Gets his man here.
He's like a guy in a scramble, you know, he's just going to putt. I'll just putt for you.
All he does. 7-1 St. Louis. La Russa will move on. He has Mott warming up in the bullpen. We'll be right back. Out here in the 7th inning, and Trevor Miller struck out Michael Bourne. Now Jason Mott comes in, and Mott is pitching in all 3 games of this series. He's 2-1 with a 2.39 ERA.
A power arm who can strike you out. He's got 23 of those, 26 in the 3rd innings. He's also walked 9. This game is just get right after you with that fastball, 95 to 97 miles an hour, and occasionally he'll slip it a breaking ball. When you go up to face him, you're geared for that heater. So this is kind of fun because we had that note on Keppinger at the beginning of the game that he is yet to swing and miss at a fastball in the strike zone. And you know he's going to get some heaters from Mott. What can he do with it is the question.
And Mott has shown that fastball out of the strike zone several times in this series, so keep yourself loose.
Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. That, you know, Jeff doesn't chase many bad balls. Pretty good chance he's going to make some contact just so you can find a find a hole somewhere. Hit the ball hard last time up, lined out to right field.
Hunter Pence on deck, and Kepinger's 0 for 2 with a walk. That's one that he's been throwing in this series, that up and in pitch, and it's ball 1. Mott hit Downs, as you mentioned, Tuesday night. But then he allowed that 1 run. The bases were loaded at that time, and then he got the next 2 guys. Brings it in for a strike. It's 1-1. Then last night he gave up 2 hits and a run in 1 inning. He allowed the pinch RBI single to Michael Bourne. So Mott has 7 holds this year.
There's a slider.
1-2. We're guessing that Eduardo Sanchez might be the Cardinal closer tonight. Fernando Salas threw so many pitches Tuesday night. But perhaps he could come in.
Well, and I think that's why Tony La Russa has managed this inning the way he has. And it's not like this is out of the norm. But once Batista ran into trouble, he had the 6-run lead, and he just didn't want to put himself in a position where he had to protect a tight game late. So he went first with Miller, now Mott playing the percentages.
2-2 to Keppinger. Varmus led off. He was hit by a pitch, then Toll singled, and Downs threw a pinch walk. Once again, a bases loaded opportunity for the Astros. They're hitting .267 as a team with the bases loaded. In the air outside first base, Pujols thunders over.
Get out of here.
And he does. You talked that one about 6 rows back, Katie.
Well, it's a big part of it.
Got to talk to the baseball.
You got to talk to the ball.
You talked to it when you were pitching.
When you're pitching, you beg. Stay in here. Stay in here. Remember Mark Portugal used to pitch, you're trained to point up when the ball's hitting the air, and usually when it's like a pop-up, you point up, let everybody know it's up. Portugal used to do that. The ball would be like 450 feet, and Portugal would be pointing up. Somebody make a play for me.
Pujols knocks it down, recovers. As a run scores, he goes to first base. And it's 7-2 on a sharply hit bouncer by Keppinger. Keppinger will get RBI number 6. Everybody moving up, but the Cardinal getting the second out of the inning as Pujols makes the play.
Pretty good feeling Kep was going to make solid contact. He did, but right at Pujols. And Albert was thinking too. Boy, that's just great batsmanship there. That was a tough pitch down and away, and he put a good swing on it.
Now a 5-run lead, and Keppinger hit the ball sharply. Hunter Pence is 2 for 3.
Big AB here.
He rips one out of here. It's a 2-run lead. That was a back, strike 1.
6. Not afraid to come right after you. Hunter. We've talked about it all year long in these situations. He's been very good. How good? How about 395 with runners in scoring position?
That's 3rd best in the National League right now. Pence has not faced Mott in his previous 2 appearances in this series. Hit a homer off him last year in St. Louis. No balls, 2 strikes. And he is 2 for 7 with that homer off Jason Mott. Mott is a converted catcher. Drafted in 03 in the 19th round. He caught for 3 years before he moved over and took the mound from Iona College. Converted to pitching in 06.
Reminds me a little bit of his former catcher turned reliever, Ricky Bottalico.
Oh, yeah. Phillies. 1-2.
Immediately you can hear Harry Callis saying his name.
Oh, yeah. He would draw it out.
Yeah. Just a little something, a little punch one over the second baseman's head. We'll get 2 in. That would work. That'd be good enough.
And Carlos Lee would come up. Time call. That's what Hunter's been doing this year so well. With that .395 batting average, with runners in scoring position, he's been behind the count, been able to make better contact than he has in the past. Ran in on him and he fouled it.
Fought off a tough pitch. You got to protect against the fastball away and that little slider he's throwing out there. So you're kind of on the defensive when he throws that 97-mile-an-hour with run moving in towards you.
Mott's pitcher number 4. Lance Lynn went the first 5, qualified for his first major league win. The Astros have used 4 hurlers as well. The Astros have won 2 series and lost 8 within the division. And Penn strikes out. In the 7th inning, the Astros load the bases with nobody out. They come away with 1 run. On 1 hit, they leave 2, and it's 7-2 St. Louis.
Go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv tonight to see every Astros game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Astros.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. This crowd hoping for a big Houston comeback right now. Matt Downs has stayed in to play second base as the Astros try to prevent the Cardinals from hitting the scoreboard again. He pinch hit and drew that walk. And it's Fernando Rodriguez taking over on the mound, pitcher number 5. He is 1-0 in 5 games with a 1.59 ERA. The native of El Paso has moved into the Astros bullpen and done a nice job.
His effectiveness and Jose Valdez struggles has sent Jose to the minor leagues with Brandon Line being activated. Fernando getting a chance now to solidify his spot on this club. He's shown a good heater, 4-seam fastball. 93, 94 miles an hour, a good curveball and a changeup.
Another low-cost acquisition over the winter by Ed Wade. And Fernando started the season at AAA Oklahoma City. He will turn 27 in 9 more days. Tyler Green leads it off for the Redbirds. He has an RBI and a bases-loaded walk and a single. He's also stolen a base. Strike one. Good life on the fastball by Rodriguez.
Different than Lopez and Del Rosario, who sink the ball. He's more of a up in the zone 4-seamer, kind of like Fulcino. Looks like he hides the ball pretty well.
Yeah, it does. He gets some ugly swings when he throws. Fernando had just 1 game in the majors with the Angels in 2009. And he gets strikeout. Green is down on strikes. Descalzo is next.
Turns his back to the hitter and then right over the top with that four-seamer.
Descalzo came up with a 2-run single in the 6th inning, his first time at the plate. Taking ball 1. It's 1-1. Miguel Batista for the Cardinals went 1 inning, allowing 1 hit, 1 run, had 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit batsman. 2 balls and a strike. Trevor Miller struck out the only man he faced, Michael Bourne. Padres are underway, leading the Nationals 2-1. Bottom of the 3rd in San Diego. Chase Headley hit his 2nd home run.
Not going to do it. Going to say Headley? Not going to do it.
You can do it. Astros don't play that many more this year. You've got to do it a few more times. Michael Bourne in center.
So this book that I've been referencing to the point of tedium the last couple of nights, scorecasting. And there's another tidbit I saw in there that you'll find remarkable.
Okay.
In each of the last, I don't know if it was 10 years, 25 years, over a fairly long period of time, there's been at least one pitcher in the National League who's had a hitting streak longer than one of the position players on the All-Star team.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that it happens at least once every year.
Yeah. That's a different type stat.
Astonished to find that out.
Sure. Ball 1 way up to Terrio. Eduardo Sanchez warming up for the Cardinals. High drive to left field. Carlos Lee backing on it, and that one reaches the seats. Crawford box home run for Terrio, number 1. And the Cardinals get run number 8 and lead it by 6 again, 8-2.
I'm not sure if Terrio really knows what kind of pace to keep around the bases. He doesn't do this very often. Although early last year he went on a little bit of a power run. He hit 4 or 5 home runs in a fairly short period of time. But typically he's just trying to slap the ball around the field. Usually gets a lot of hits the other way. He hit the double to left earlier, and now this home run taking advantage of the Crawford boxes.
17th career long ball for Terrio. Matt Carpenter comes up.
His high school coach was here today, so it's a big thrill, I'm sure.
Okay. Carpenter was the third baseman last night, going 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Local guy who played at Elkins High School. There's a real leather lung down there.
He's screaming at Albert to come and play for the Astros.
Oh, okay. Check swing goes foul. It's 1-1. Terrio hits number 1 of this season. Cardinals have 56 long balls this year. They rank 6th in the league. Guy's really got a voice.
His buddy next to him's got a Cardinal hat on, and he's imploring Albert to stay in St. Louis.
There's a certain element sometimes at ball games, make it pretty interesting, the things that they yell.
Hey, there's Tom Hallion.
Tom Hallion comes to life. Strikeout number 2 for Fernando Rodriguez ends the Cardinal 8th inning. It's 8-2 St. Louis.
In depth on the creation of the University of Texas at San Antonio football program. Head coach Larry Coker has been brought on board to get the Roadrunners football program up and ready by the fall. And we've got special behind-the-scenes look at just what it takes to start an NCAA football program from scratch. UTSA football, the birth of a program, continues Saturday at 10 p.m. only on Fox Sports Houston.
Greg, you just told us about a report from Ken Rosenthal.
Yeah, Ken Rosenthal is reporting, he's tweeting that there may be some interest in former Astro Bill Hall by at least two teams and maybe a third. Apparently the Orioles and the Nationals, and Ken says maybe even the Yankees have some interest in Bill as a backup utility type player, which he was, of course, very successfully for the Red Sox last year.
Eduardo Sanchez comes out of the Cardinal bullpen. He has 5 saves and 7 opportunities, a 2-1 record and a 2.10 ERA.
On-throwing righty, worked in game 1 of the series, struggled with his control. Not a real big guy, but he's got a big arm.
He's from Venezuela. Facing Carlos Lee here. He's walked twice and hit a fly ball to center.
Came in that opening game, faced 2 batters, walked them both, and Tony La Russa went and got him.
That's ball 1 on a breaking pitch. Sanchez saved the game here back in late April, but he gave up 2 runs in 1 inning. It's 2-0. So there was a choice there when the demotion of Ryan Franklin left the closer job open in the Cardinal bullpen. Sanchez got some opportunities, but Salas has emerged as the guy lately. 2 balls a strike. But Fernando Salas threw 44 pitches in a 2-inning save Tuesday night here. So the Cardinals hope not to use him tonight. Carlos pops it up. Ontario calling. 1 out for Sanchez. After Mott worked 2/3 of an inning and had a strikeout. Brett Wallace had an RBI single in the first inning. That tied at 1-1 at the time. He's 1 for 3. Mets beat Milwaukee 4-1 at Milwaukee. Jonathan Neese going to 5-5, beating Giovanni Gallardo. He's 8-3. Francisco Rodriguez saved his 18th. So the Cardinals can stretch their lead over the Brewers to 2.5 if they win this one. Jair Jurgens going to 8-2. 1 for Atlanta, 3-2 at Florida.
Jurgens 8-2 with an ERA below 2.
Johnny Vetter's got his 2nd save, and Mike Stanton hit his 14th homer for the Fish. But the Marlins now have an 8-game losing streak.
They've got an injured Hanley Ramirez. They just fired the hitting coach. It's a good club, but they're in a funk right now.
They are. Well, Atlanta will be here tomorrow night with a record of 35-28. Braves in the thick of things. And the NL East 3 behind the Phillies. That one almost hit Wallace. 2 balls and a strike.
Nuri Rodriguez, Tim Hudson tomorrow, 6:30 for the pregame show. And Lyles and TBA on Saturday. 5:30 pregame, 6:05 first pitch. Browning's going to be honored on the field pregame on Saturday. Come out early. 25 years for Browning, the broadcast booth, doing Astros baseball. So that's going to be fun, Browning.
It will be. Yeah, the whole family's in town now.
Yeah, that's great. Got a little Lou Gehrig speech today. I consider myself. Get a little speech prepared?
No speech.
No speech?
That's the best part of it. No speech. Yeah, it's just going to be fun.
Yeah, there we go.
And that's the night. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Red Wallace trying to get something going here for the Astros. They're down by 6. They've been out hit 10-7.
Hansen and Myers on Sunday. Derek Lowe on Monday, and presumably Wandy, right?
Yes. Hasn't been announced yet, but that's what we're thinking. Rasmussen left center. Whoa! And Lance Berkman was close by, but Rasmus acted as if he was surprised, and he caught it. 2 outs.
Lance showing incredible range.
Lance has played mostly right field this year, but playing left because of the dimensions at Minute Maid Park.
Almost like Lance was trying to deke him.
Yeah, it was. Had some fun with him.
I'm trying to think who's the Braves' other pitcher.
We were going to find out.
Because Jurgens went tonight.
Yeah. Let's see. Beachy's hurt right now. Lowe. Did we mention Lowe?
Yeah, Lowe's going, and the finale of the series.
Mike Minor had a couple starts, but then he went back to the minor leagues.
I know that other kid they called up right after we left town last time, that big prospect.
Tehran?
Yeah, that was.
I think they sent him back down,
yeah.
But they might be calling him back up for that game. Yeah, you're right. CJ takes, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Chris is 1 for 3. Phillies are leading the Cubs 3-2. That's in the top of the 8th inning. And there's a strikeout. Sanchez ends the 8th in 1-2-3 fashion. 8-2 Redbirds.
Houston is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. The action moves to the top of the 9th. The Astros need to keep the runs off the board and then have a huge rally in the bottom. The bottom of that action, here's Bill Brown and Jim Bechet.
Thank you very much, Greg. There are many things we have not learned tonight, but we just learned a very important answer to a question from earlier about the origin of the mascot for the Central Missouri University Mules. And that came way back when the school started. Warrensburg, Missouri, where the school is, was known for its great mules and had mule barns all over town.
And I was informed that the mule is the state animal of Missouri.
Okay.
Is that true? You're a Missouri guy.
This is embarrassing. Don't know. I don't know the state animal. Isn't that horrendous?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's one.
Okay.
You would hold your feet to the fire over.
1-1 to Albert Pujols.
Never going to allow you back in the state.
What's the state animal for New York?
Well, depends on what part of the state. If it's a city, it's a rat.
Oh, okay. Which can be as big as a mule in New York sometimes. Tom Hallion.
Now he's a little shaken up here. By the way, following your point, it is the mule. The state reptile is the 3-toed box turtle, and the state horse is the Missouri fox trotter.
Oh.
And if you want more, the state amphibian is the bullfrog. Your state has a whole lot of stuff.
What's the flower? Do you know?
I have to open it up. No, I only look for animal.
Okay.
Let's see. Fish is the channel catfish.
We're learning all kinds of stuff here.
Oh, yeah. The state bird is the bluebird, but the state game bird is the bobwhite quail. This is all filling time while umpire gets all shaken. It's all back together.
Rex Jones out to help him out.
Hey, I had one question. I sent it to you, JD. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it had to do with our home plate umpire, Mr. Hallion, about the exuberance of some of his strike calls. Does that? We had an emailer that wanted to know, would that fire you up as a pitcher?
Let me check.
He's checking.
I'm not checking the email. I'm not.
You were a pitcher,
okay,
JD.
okay.
I want to know if you would have gotten fired.
Rob Meese from Cypress.
There you go.
With and they said, would it be motivation for a pitcher when on the mound? No, it would not be extra motivation. But it's a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah. We want to thank Alexander Bertineau, I think it is, for sending us that email about the Central Missouri mascot. And he's a CMSU graduate and former radio play-by-play man for the Mules and Jennies from 61 through 80. Nice term there. And he met Jim Crane when he was pitching for the Mules.
What's the Jennies, the women's team?
I think
the Jenny Mule?
I don't know.
Everything you ever wanted to know about a mule. Wrong again, oh beast of burden breath.
Thank you, Tom Hallion, for giving us time to go into all those items which were of vital importance tonight. Curveball, and Pujols takes it for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Albert was born in the Dominican, but he went to school in the Kansas City, Missouri area.
He would know. He would know.
Sure.
Go down and ask Albert what the state animal is.
He'd tell you. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I got my information from my good buddy Jane Funky.
Oh, okay.
She's from right there.
Jane is?
Yeah.
Chopped up the middle. Varmus cuts across. Straightens up and gets Pujols. He is not running hard. 1 out. Didn't act like he wanted to hit at all on that one. He might be nursing something.
Yeah.
Lance Berkman singled in a run in the 6th inning. Batting right-handed. That line drive off the scoreboard in left. Hallion wants to see the baseball. Don't see too much of that anymore, JD. An umpire going out and wanting to inspect the ball.
Well, a lot of times the hitter will prompt it. And he'll say, hey, would you mind taking a look at that one? Thinking that perhaps there's a scuff on it.
Well, there might have been.
Ball gets a little scuff on it. It's going to do some unnatural things.
Did you ever make that work to your advantage?
No, not really. You have to know, you have to have some experience with it.
Goodbye. Lance Berkman takes the tour again at Minute Maid Park, and the all-time home run leader in this ballpark has hit 156 here now. That's number 15 this season for Berkman. 45 runs batted in, and that one an absolute bomb.
That is one of the biggest ones to right I've seen him hit. We've seen him hit some monster shots more towards right center, straight away center field. In terms of one to straight away right in that second deck, that's one of the longest ones I've seen him hit up there.
Yes. He just put his head down, and he knew where that one was going to be.
He put a charge in that one.
That had some serious hang time. Now Schumacher, and he takes a look at it. Berkman has hit the second Cardinal long ball of the night. That gives him 5 homers against the Astros this season. And all 5 have come in this ballpark. Schumacher swings at it. That one will have them talking as they get on that plane for Milwaukee. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So even without Matt Holliday, the Cardinals, very, very potent offensive team. That's a strikeout, 2 outs.
See, now I wish I had a scuff ball. If I was pitching Lance, I wish I would have had a scuff ball to get some movement. I remember pitching against Rick Roden one time, getting a ball that was fairly scratched up.
Yeah, he was known for that.
I think I walked the guy and gave up a double. It's all right. Let's move along. give me a conventional one.
Strike to Schumacher. Or to Tony Cruz, rather. It's 1-1.
At this stage, it doesn't much matter, does it?
Not
Strike to Cardinal batter.
Yeah. 11 hits, 9 runs. Cardinals on their way to a 6-2 record against the Astros this season. 1-2 now. Well, all along, this homestand appeared to be a challenge for the Cardinals, the Atlanta Braves, and the Pittsburgh Pirates coming in. It's a 4-game set with Atlanta wrapping around, including a Monday night 7:05 meeting. Fouled away. Still 1-2 to Tony Cruz. The Astros 12-18 here at Minute Maid Park this season. They would seriously like to put a nice homestand together. They have not had a winning record in any homestand yet this year. Still 1-2. Pirates follow the Braves into town. They're here Tuesday through Thursday, and then the Astros go on the road to Los Angeles and Texas, back home against the Rays for interleague play, and the Rangers come in as well. 2-2, so the interleague schedule is a stiff one as well for Houston.
Goodness, I don't think anybody has a tougher one.
Probably right. Cardinals, for instance, get 2 series with the Royals every year in interleague play. Curveball got him looking. Strikeout number 4 for Rodriguez. Cardinals lead it 9-2. Eighth inning homers by Terrio, and then a 9th inning homer by Berkman. On the end of their 11-hit assault tonight, they built up this 7-run lead, and the Astros come up in the 9th inning against Sanchez, who had a 1-2-3-8. With the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Houston. And Angel Sanchez is on deck. Clint Barmas leading it off. Tolles is due up second, then the pitcher spot. No, Downs is in that 9 spot, rather. The pitcher's in the 2 spot in the order now. Well, the Astros had some things going early. They got a 1st inning run. They had 2 hits in the 2nd, 2 more hits in the 3rd. Then the Cardinals settled down. Lynn and Batista combined to set down 11 in a row before the Astros got a run in the 7th. Barmas has been on twice with a single, and he was hit by a pitch.
Left the bases loaded in the 3rd, failed to score in that inning. And then the next best chance in the 7th, after 1 in, they had runners on 2nd and 3rd. And Hunter was up, and he punched out then that inning. If he got a base hit, then it's a 7-4 game, and you never know how it's going to play out. But, done a heck of a job in those situations this year. You're not going to do it every time.
In the air toward the right field line. Schumacher hustling over. Handles out number 1. 4 straight for Sanchez. And now the Astros. Angel Sanchez comes up.
Boy, the Rockies have come all the way back on Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. It's 7-7 now.
Ooh.
In the 7th. 3 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th.
263 for Angel with a homer, and he's driven in 18. As a pinch hitter, he's 3 for 8 with an RBI. Sanchez versus Sanchez here.
Spy versus Spy. Cubs have rallied to take the lead in Philadelphia. 1 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. It's 4-3. Cubs still batting top of the 9th. Soto and Colvin have gone deep. Jimmy Rollins for the Phils.
Foul back. No balls, 2 strikes. Downs on deck. Cardinals trying for their 38th win of the year. Tony La Russa's club looking pretty strong, especially when you contemplate regaining the services of the injured Cardinals somewhere down the line. One ball, 2 strikes. Redbirds are 15-10 within the division. They've been a good road team. A win tonight would give them a 20-14 road record. Strike 3. That's 5 straight for Sanchez. And now Matt Downs. He walked as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and stayed in to play second base.
And I think a lot of that's the key to a late inning reliever, to be able to pitch in tight situations like you do in blowout situations where you're freaking easy and you trust your stuff. We saw this kid the other night in a tight game, and he really struggled with his control. With a comfortable lead, he's been spot on.
Ball 1 with Michael Bourne on deck. In the air and outside third base. And the turn and the backpedaling catch. Well, Carpenter takes care of the final out, and the final 9 Astros go down in order. Tony La Russa's Redbirds win 2 out of 3 here in Houston. They are 6-2 against the Astros. Final score: St. Louis 9, Houston 2.